All right, we are live. I am
Hello.
back. Along with my partner in crime, Rick Dom. Yeah, we got a lot of cool news today. We actually been so busy past couple weeks, and we haven't been able to come on as scheduled. So we apologize for that, but we are definitely back now. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I originally was going to go through the event stuff, but I figure since it's not particularly new news, I mean, we're probably going to jump back to it because as stuff gets revealed, things start coming out. We're probably going to go over this stuff again. So we're just going to put that on hold for now and just concentrate on the now, which there's plenty of stuff to talk about. So there's no shortage. Our time will be occupied. So first off, Rick Dom, how have you been? How are things? How are things in the hobby world for you?
Oh man, it's a world, and it's full of hobbies and things that I collect. It's been all right. Actually, the months of collecting haven't been like that crazy. You know, like I expected to be very overwhelmed with stuff, but it seems like the next overwhelmed order is October. So, you know, so it's been all right. It's been all right.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's been a lot. It's been, you know, a decent amount of stuff coming out, and then at the same time, it doesn't feel like it's that crazy. So I definitely see what you mean. But I mean, definitely a lot of big news coming out. If you guys can see my screen right now, it is the teaser for the SH Figure Arts Macross Delta line for the Valkyrie idols. And we were actually told about this at SDCC, but we couldn't really talk about it till now. We were actually told about this, and it's cool that they're doing it. These are going to be SHF versions. One of the reasons I knew these were coming is one of the reasons I didn't actually order the freaking Figure Art Zero ones, which those are great too. But I'll probably wait to see those come in the deal. Not to say I'll never buy them, but these SHF ones look very promising, and hopefully there's going to be a special Tamashii Nations event, which we'll definitely be talking about today. And that's going to be at the end of October from the 28th to 30th Japan time. And I'm assuming we might start seeing, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some of these Valkyrie girls there. Probably Freya, Mikumo first. Or maybe, you know what, maybe we're lucky we'll even see all 5. So Rick Dom, what do you think of I mean, this is kind of like a weird, odd starting part because we're probably going to jump to another topic right after this. What do you think of the Valkyrie girls?
Oh, I'm so surprised. Oh man, I didn't see this coming. I think it's great. But I'm sure, as you've told Julian and my opinion, I think I only ever watched like the first 2 episodes of the series. I still been meaning to go back and watch it all. While it was airing, we were in con season, so it wasn't easy to catch up, and I just keep forgetting. But I'm back to the topic. It's awesome, but you guys need to step it up and make some males.
Yeah, we definitely need a Hayate and a Keith. They definitely need those, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I only watched the first 2 episodes, and I know that they're important characters.
Oh, they're the main characters.
Yeah, they're the main characters.
Yeah,
they need to be done. This is unexcusable.
Very, very cool. Anyways, let's get to it. We have a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. First things first, we kind of go about these new Mayfek stuff. Just a lot of Metacom stuff just went up for order. We have new Pokemon figure. It's like a scale figure. I'm not as familiar with the Pokemon as a popular character right now.
Are you referring to the one that went up today, Diantha?
Yeah, the Diantha, yeah.
Hell yeah, super popular, man. As soon as it went up, I messaged it to our good friend and co-host, Mr. The Red Comic Customs.
Oh man!
And I was like, oh my god, man, this is like one of his favorite characters. And I was like, man, it's real. Pre-ordered instantly, and the price is fantastic.
Yeah, quality looks really great as well. At least as far as the sculpting and the painting and stuff. Hopefully, this is a popular Pokemon, right? This one?
Super popular. Yeah. I love the 3P line, from the beginning, with the Soul Eaters, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. Perfect
Maka.
Holding stuff. They have some really nice sculpts for sure.
Oh yeah, great stuff.
And of course, we got all the new Mayfex stuff. We have the episode 2, phase 1 clone trooper. We have the Sand Trooper from episode 4. This is episode 4.
We also have Side Boob Harley.
Oh, this is a Stripper Harley? Stripper Harley, right?
Yeah, it's Stripper, dude. She has a huge side boob.
Yeah. So we have Stripper Harley with the side boob. And a really great likeness, actually, especially for the size of figure it is. It looks like it comes with special parts for Batman and Harley as well.
Yeah, I love, some people hate it, but I love that Mayfex does this stuff.
Does adding the part to me?
Yeah, it makes it feel like a line, you know what I mean? It's like when you buy Marvel Legends, it kind of feels cool because, you get a piece to something and then, you build to something. I like that aspect of collecting, where your series of toys are all connected to each other and more than just property. I like that.
In your opinion, now that we have the Stripper Harley, and it comes with these special parts for, for the regular Harley Mayfex version, do you think this ups the value of the Mayfex version, in your opinion?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the stuff that the fact that they do stuff like this, it's really cool. And it makes what comes out that's new much more relevant and feel much more personal to your collecting. It's nice. I love the strategy of doing stuff like this.
Very cool. In general, yeah, I think it's always a cool thing to do this type of stuff. Like Rick Dom is saying, it does give more personal, gives you a feeling of more reward, more investment in the line when you include things that kind of interact with other figures in the line and other parts and stuff like that. I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to complain saying, oh, well, they should have just included it in the first place or something.
Yeah, I don't want to buy Harley again. I can see that point as well, but just for me personally, the way that I like to collect and what I want from collecting, I like that style. But I also, I'm sure there's many of you that don't like it, that you guys just want it all together in one figure. I perfectly understand that. But just for me personally, I like that better. I like that style of everything feeling connected, everything feeling, like it comes together. That it is truly a line. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And like I said, the likeness looks really great, especially for the kind of 1/10 scale that the Mayfex figures are. The 1/12, 1/10, whatever you want to call it. And that's cool. It comes with a Batman breather mask. So, they're actually doesn't look like they're probably going to offer another figure. They're just going to offer this head. And if you already have the Batman from Batman vs. Superman, which I'm assuming they'll probably keep on the market now, especially with them doing it like this. And oddly enough, it looks like the strategy actually works. If you look right here, the other Harley went up a while ago, the normal one, and her spot has shot back up in the foreign figure section. It's number 2, even though it went up for pre-order a few months ago. So that's definitely saying a lot. So the strategy is definitely working. Guys are, reconsidering. And we never actually look at the Phase 1 Clone Trooper. It's just a regular Phase 1 Clone Trooper. Actually, it has to come Phase 1 and Phase 2 mask helmet, actually. So it's both. So Episode 2 and Episode 3. And, just the normal Mayfex treatment of having, it's good articulation, good size, So it looks good. Rick Dom, are you? What do you think of the Mayfex Phase 1, Phase 2 Clone Trooper?
I think it's cool, man. I'm liking it. I've always been a big fan of the look, and so far with what Mayfex has done. I know some people have had bad experiences, but I honestly just think it's bad strokes of luck, man. Like like with that Superman and stuff like that. I just think it's really bad strokes of luck. I don't know. Maybe it's just bias from how great I felt their Darth Vader was and how much improved it was from the starting point that most people hit with Mayfex with that Spider-Man. But I you know, I'm for the line. I think they're doing cool stuff, so I'm liking it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, it's cool, and it's also nice the fact that they include both helmets, so you know, you can kind of do it right away. It's something that I always wish other companies also did as well. But I understand, you know, that you wanna sell more figures and stuff like that, and since they're troop builders, it doesn't hurt either, I guess. So you know, it's always cool to when you get more, especially, you know, going back with the whole Harley thing. It's one of those things where I think a lot of guys, you know, look at, oh man, they should have included it. But it's the point of the fact of the matter is they didn't have to include those parts. They could have just sold you the stripper Harley, and you know, we could be done with it. But they included, hey, you know what? Let's, you know, include these parts as well. And for if you already have the other figure, it's kind of like a bonus. So, I mean, there's definitely nothing wrong with that, I think. So, all right, let's go and check some. We got other UDF figures. All the Fujio works, all the stuff like the Doraemon and stuff like that. You know, it's cool stuff.
That's ultra details. It's ultra detail piece.
Yeah, right? UDF's ultra detail figure series, which is kind of like, it started off as kind of like a 1/12, 1/10 scale line, and now has become kind of almost like trading figures, sort of. They're also very cheap. They're only like $10, some of them, so it's understandable. But they're going for a much smaller look for those.
Yeah, and sometimes you get really cool stuff from it, like the girl who left through time and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. They do a lot of stuff where other companies don't really do. So it is in some ways it is like the best way, the only way to get some of these characters. They do some obscure animes and stuff. So, or at least obscure in the merchandising sense. I mean, Tokikake is not really obscure as a movie, but as far as merchandising goes, it's not particularly like a merchandising monster. There's not much figures or anything, and it makes sense because it's not like the characters are wearing armor. They're just like school kids. So, you know, you're not going to get a ton of action figures and statues and stuff like that. They're just very normal looking people. So, anyways, moving on. Hope you guys are into the UDF line. If you guys are, you know, definitely props to you guys for supporting it. Always great to see, you know, a lot of those other more obscure series represented. So, all right. So Square Enix unveiled. We saw this at Tokyo Game Show. The first prototype, I believe, or was it? I think it was Tokyo Game Show, and this is essentially the figure art, Square Enix's version of Figure Art Zero. We're starting off with Vincent Valentine from Final Fantasy VII. It's a nice looking figure. He's you know, the typical Vincent pose, perched on top of a rubble base, in a very cool, you know, dynamic pose. It's kind of dynamic. I guess it's not really in motion, but it's a cool pose. You know, it's very cool. It's got a great sculpting. You know what you expect, especially anything that's a Square Enix property done by Square Enix. The figure, a lot of people, I actually been getting a lot of questions, and I'm going to answer it now because I guess a lot of people didn't actually see. A lot of people, this is actually a lot of people's first exposure to it. A lot of guys are asking me how big the figure was, and I basically was telling them that from the look of the picture, when it was on display, from the pictures I've seen at Tokyo Game Show, it's essentially a Figure Art Zero size, maybe a tiny bit bigger. This whole base and everything right here, this whole thing is about, from what I understand, it's about like 6 inches tall, maybe 7 inches tall, something like that. So it's about Figure Art Zero size. Wouldn't you say that's Figure Art Zero size, Rick, now?
Oh, yeah. It's definitely along those lines.
Yeah, and the #1 giveaway, I would say, is the price. This thing is only $60.
Yeah, I was just about to say, the way that you know that it's not that big, for anyone thinking that we may be wrong, is just look at that price.
Yeah,
I mean,
$60, and I believe the U.S. price is either $59.99 or $54.99. So I mean, it's a nice looking figure, and they are talking about the Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts being covered in this line. So if you guys are not particularly big into Play Arts Kai, but you guys love that Square Enix property, you guys, of course, obviously don't mind statues. This is a good This is a good affordable, what I consider pretty affordable alternative to that, to like Play Arts Kai and stuff like that. If you just want to have pretty nice looking figures, and honestly, you guys can see it's a pretty high level sculpt. It's got good texturing. The paint is really good, and you know it looks really great. So, Rick Dom, what are your thoughts?
Oh yeah, man, very awesome. Very, very cool. You know, I remember Kelsey in an interview that we did was talking about, you know, the idea of them bringing it, trying to push a line like this again, and it's awesome to see. You know, I've definitely, you know, 100% I'm gonna buy whatever the fuck that they do. No question, gonna buy it on site. You know, I'm sure some Final Fantasy stuff is gonna be something that I want. This one in particular, I'm not a big fan of the character. But, you know, I'm sure down the line there will be stuff from Final Fantasy that I'm interested in.
Very cool. I'm probably going to order this myself. I'm a huge fan of Final Fantasy in general, especially Final Fantasy VII.
I mean, that's the GOAT. The GOAT!
It's like it's kind of like the Persona 4 of the Final Fantasy series. So, but yeah, but basically, I'm definitely probably going to grab this one. You can see he even has the Aerith tribute armband on, as you guys can see right there, the little pink armband even has that. I'm assuming we're going to get some other ones, like I said, would be cool. You know, Cloud, Sephiroth, Tifa, Aerith, you know, Yuffie, any of those FF7 characters. Final Fantasy 10, Final Fantasy 15 would be awesome. Kingdom Hearts 3. You know, there's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of possibilities with Square Enix. And like I said, I mean, the greatest thing about it is it's obviously very reasonable price. Another big announcement that came from Tokyo Game Show is the fact that, and I'll try to pull them up right now since we're already on the topic, the fact that Square Enix is doing 6-inch Play Arts Kai. Well, they're not Play Arts Kai, but they're 6-inch figures. The first ones are going to be Kingdom Hearts 3. They look really good. I'm gonna see if I can pull them up right now. It's kind of a little bit further back. Here we go. So these are the 6-inch figures for Kingdom Hearts 3. Obviously, going for the more I guess you could say the standard action figure size of 6 inches. Although 6 inches for these characters means they're actually more like in the 1/10 scale, not really the 1/12 scale, because they're not supposed to be that tall. But it looks,
yeah. So Sora should actually be like between 4 and 5 inches.
Yeah, so he's actually I mean, he's a little bit older here, but still probably 5 inches. So 6 inches is a little bit tall, but I mean, looking really promising so far. The new Square Enix sculpting is always great, and yeah, the 6 inches look like a lot of accessories, decent amount of hands and other stuff. A clip for the stand. He comes with some weapons, effects, and things like that. And 6-inch action Kingdom Hearts series Sora 6-inch action figure, product not vinyl. So while we're here, we might as well talk about Wolverine Play Arts Kai. This is the next in the Play Arts variant line for Marvel. What do you think, Rick Dom? Actually, Rick Dom, what are your thoughts on the 6-inch Sora Kingdom Hearts 3? Let's start with that first.
And I'll tell you my thoughts on it. You know, pre-order. You know, where is it at? I'll do it. Pre-order immediately. Very, very cool. You know, Play Arts Kai have gotten so fucking expensive. It's unreal. Just for me personally, I can't justify buying them anymore. So I like this happy medium. Like, you know, what could these things be? Like $70-$60? You know, I'll definitely buy it at that price.
I'm thinking probably like $69.99.
Yeah,
$64.99. And if you get on Ami, you probably get a slight discount, but then the shipping will probably make it $70. I'm guessing these are going to be more in price with, you know how the One Piece figures are? That's my guess.
Yeah, like those.
Yeah, the variable action heroes line.
Variable action. Yeah, I'll definitely buy at that price. You know, I'm gonna get whatever they make for Kingdom Hearts in that scale, and yeah, definitely really like those. And going back to the Wolverine, I don't think the color choice is as strong as it could have been. I think it's a little awkward looking color choice, but I think itself it looks fine.
Yeah, I mean, it fits.
think
I
the
don't.
color block.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of bashers, as you normally get with the variant line. But I honestly think this fits the aesthetic of what they're going for. I guess the only thing I would have personally changed myself, I would have not had so much black. Maybe the blue a little bit stand out a little bit more. You could see that the pants are blue, but they're so dark, it just all looks like it's black. I think if the blue was a little lighter, so it stood out a bit more.
I honestly think that so far that's the only downside of Marvel's Marvel's variant line is the fact that a lot of the time they have such strange color blocking. Like even the Iron Man that they did is like so strangely colored, like in certain places. But the figure itself, I think, looks perfectly fine. It looks like everything.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't really buy many of the figures myself. I actually don't have any of the Marvel ones, but I respect it, and I think I mean, for these type of characters, we have so many different interpretations of them, and for us to have another interpretation, in my opinion, is not really that big of a deal. I think Wolverine looks good. Like I said, it fits their style and everything. It's a very, I guess, Japanese anime, stereotype anime design. But I mean, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. And it looks like he comes with his katana. He comes with an array of hands. And obviously, we're gonna get Deadpool as well. He's not colored yet, but you can already kind of guess what he's gonna be like. It comes with a ton of hands. What do you think of Deadpool, Rick? Tom?
I thought Deadpool's cool. It's so hip right now to do a Deadpool. It looks perfectly fine so far from what I've seen. Not in color or anything yet, but it looks like what you'd expect.
Yeah, again, it fits the aesthetic.
Yeah, it fits what they do.
And these guys we've already seen, the Metal Iron Man, the Toxin, the Black Costume Spider-Man, which all look great, actually. In fact, I would even argue that the Black Costume Spider-Man even looks better than the regular one. This is actually the one to buy. So, it does look really great, that Black Costume Spider-Man variant.
Oh, yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah. And that Toxin, or the Red Venom, or whatever they want to call it, the Toxin looks great, too. So.
Oh, yeah, the Toxin, too. Quote-unquote Toxin.
Yeah, it's a quote-unquote Venom Red version. That's what they call it. So, and, of course, we got the Play Arts Kai Marcus Phoenix, which looks really great. I mean, it looks like what you would expect for Play Arts Kai figure to look like. And something like Gears of War, which is very gritty looking, very detailed. It fits very well with the Play Arts Kai line, because that's the Play Arts Kai line. They have a lot of textures and a lot of very gritty looking detail and stuff. So, what do you think, Rick, of Marcus Phoenix, Play Arts Kai?
Marcus Phoenix. Yeah, it looks good. Marcus Phoenix from Mr. Gao's predictions. It's shown.
Mr. Gao, our friend.
As soon as he said that they were coming in Play Arts Kai, I was like, oh man, perfect. This is a perfect marriage.
Yeah, it's the perfect marriage, man.
Yeah, very cool. Very awesome. I like it. Very bulky, very cool looking. Like I said, if they were cheaper, I'd probably buy it. It's pretty cool.
And up next, we have the Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive movie figure, the first one, of the main guy from the movie. He's essentially kind of like the bodyguard of Noctis's father, I guess. If for better or for worse, is just basically who he is. It's kind of like a bodyguard slash right-hand man kind of character. His name is Nyx. He's the main character of the spin-off movie Final Fantasy 15 Kingsglaive. Which I think some of you might have been lucky to see in the theater. Otherwise, it is coming out pretty soon, or might already be out on demand, I believe. So the figure looks really good. He comes with not much stuff from at least what looks like here. Actually, I know it comes with a decent amount of hands, his daggers, So it's definitely pretty cool stuff. If you guys are fans of Nyx, he just. Different than Noctis and the other guys, this guy's more of a gruff, older looking guy, not as pretty boy as the other guys are. Has more
the car crew.
Yeah, the car crew is definitely more on the boy band side, and this guy is more on kind of the, I don't know, he's more masculine, more older, more.
He's the kind of guy that Pharaoh would like.
Yeah, so that's what it is, but in a nice figure regardless.
Oh yeah.
I'll definitely probably be picking out because I collect pretty much most of the Final Fantasy ones, and you know, Nyx is a pretty cool character, so it's awesome that they're doing them. So, anyways, moving on. Here's another shot of Sephiroth. We've seen Sephiroth before. He's already been unveiled. He looks like the latest addition to the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children line, which oddly enough, Kelsey told us was actually discontinued. And then they show this. So I don't know, Kelsey, what's going on? That's okay. The most important fact is we are getting him. He also comes with the one wing, which he's famous for, the one black wing, the one wing. He is the one-winged angel after all. And like I said, the most important part is that we are getting him. And yeah, I mean, looks incredible. Yeah, so definitely very happy about that. This is also to note the first figure to ever have the wing. I don't think any other version of Sephiroth, any other action figure or statue even ever had the one wing. So it's very awesome that they finally give the fans what they want. So how about you, Rick? Now, what do you think of Sephiroth, the one wing?
Oh, it's sick, man.
It's incredible, right? So
yeah, like I said, I just wish I could be more excited for this stuff if it wasn't the price wasn't jumping up every single release.
Yeah. And the prices are definitely getting pretty high. So yeah, we'll hope.
Yeah, and very sadly, you know, it doesn't even seem like they're going down anytime soon. They just keep going up.
Yeah, just when you think that okay, this is probably it. Oh man, they went up another $5. So yeah, and we have the Final Fantasy VII remake, Barret and Cloud. You know, these look incredible. We've seen them before, but wow, they really do look incredible. And definitely must buy if you're a fan. Definitely updated versions of the original Final Fantasy VII version. Very cool. They probably don't have to do Sephiroth, though. Sephiroth's already perfect. But, you know, they want to do them. They can always do them. So we're also getting Squall from Dissidia. This is the Dissidia version of Squall. They did Squall before in the PlayArts Kai line a while back. He was actually more kind of in line size-wise with the original PlayArts line, to be honest with you. But looks like this one's going to be more back in line with how big PlayArts Kai figures are now, which are like almost 1/6 scale. Almost 1/6 scale. So, any thoughts on these, Rick?
Like I said, you know, cool-looking pieces. Very cool-looking pieces. You know, if I didn't have so many other lines I'd collect, you know, at the price points that they're at, maybe I would give them a shot. But just price points are too crazy.
And moving on to the next thing, we got the Static Arts Gallery. Again, going to the statue figures like the Vincent, and this is the first of the Kingdom Hearts series. We have Riku and we have Sora. They're obviously the smaller size, so they're probably going to be more in the same price range, like the $60 price range. They look really great. The Kingdom Hearts 2 versions.
Yeah, definitely ordering those, to tell you that.
They look really good. And of course, you know, we have, you know, the bread and butter, the PlayArts Kai Kingdom Hearts 3 figures. Well, this one is Kingdom Hearts 2, I believe. But this one's Kingdom Hearts 3. So we have Roxas from Kingdom Hearts 2, and we have Sora from Kingdom Hearts 3. And it looks really incredible, as you would expect, you know, PlayArts Kai sculpting, especially for their own stuff, their Final Fantasy Kingdom Hearts. It's pretty much unrivaled when it comes to they sculpting their own stuff. And that should be the case. So it's a kind of look. Roxas looks really great. Great expression. And I figure it looks a lot of detail. Comes with even a hooded head as well, which is really awesome. First for any of the Organization 13 figures. We've gotten some Organization 13 figures, but we never had heads with hoods on them. So it's cool that they're doing them finally. To have those options. And the Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora looks really great. And that looks like it brings us to the end of the Square Enix tour. We kind of off track there, but it's okay because we're just kind of on the topic about Square Enix. So, moving on to the next things. We covered Medicom, we covered Square Enix. We can just kind of skim through some of the other stuff. Let me go back. Here.
Yeah, sadly for the rest of the companies, there wasn't like a huge amount of announcements.
Yeah. They talk about the Hot Toys Doctor Strange, which looks absolutely incredible. Wow. I mean, look at that.
Yeah. If Red Comet Customs were here right now and he weren't at work, I'm sure he'd let us all know that he was going to buy it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, this likeness. Often Hot Toys, they're usually kind of a little bit off about the likeness in the beginning, but I would say this one's almost dead on. I mean, maybe some tweaking here and there, but it's pretty damn close.
Yeah, it's honestly shocking how close it is.
I mean, some shots right here looks like it's the real guy. That's how incredible it looks.
It's like, oh shit, look at this new still from the movie. Oh wait,
Yeah,
it's the
much.
fucking figure.
And he has the runes and everything. It's really incredible. That's definitely if you guys enjoy the movie and you guys are looking for something, you know, more on the high end side, I would say this is probably the thing to get. Up for order now on Sideshow. So the book is really cool. That's a really cool accessory. What do you think of this, Rick? Now?
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I'm gonna buy it because I haven't watched the movie yet. I don't know how much I like the character in movie form, but Jesus Christ, incredible, incredible piece.
All right. Enough about Doctor Strange. We went through that. All right. Let's go and look at some other stuff. See what we have now so we can talk about. It looks like the Figure Eyes bust are moving on to things that are not complementary to Mecha with the Love Live Sunshine.
Boo!
So this is the first Figure Eyes bust line, which is what I consider pretty much standalone. Before this, it was all basically kind of complementing your model kits. And now it's like these girls don't drive robots, so there's not going to be any fucking model kits to put them in front of. So these are going to be the first bust, standalone bust. Well, truly standalone. I mean, the other stuff, you can technically have them standalone as well. You just don't put them next to your Gundams or whatever, or your Valkyries. But these actually don't go with anything. They just go with each other. So they're essentially truly standalone. They look really good. I'm very curious how the layering for the eyes on these particular ones are going to be. They're more moe-looking eyes, so definitely interested to see. Rick Dom, you're definitely a fan of the Love Live. I don't know you're a fan of Love Live Sunshine. With the
No, I'm not a fan of Love Live Sunshine at all.
But what do you think of these busts?
They're okay. I don't know if I wanted, just no offense to Bandai, but if I wanted characters from this show, I would just buy the expensive statues. Really, no offense. I wouldn't buy this in any way, shape, or even if they were the original Love Live girls, I probably wouldn't buy it. I would just buy the really nice pieces. You know, but with characters like that, that's what personally what I would want. I hate Love Live Sunshine. I hate the idea of switching up on the girls. I think it's stupid and it's biting them in the ass because nobody cares about Love Live Sunshine. So I'm happy about that. I'm glad that they're learning a lesson. Love Live Sunshine. Boo!
Here you go, folks. The Rick Dom not a fan of Love Live Sunshine.
No thanks.
Yeah, I mean, we got other stuff here. Probably won't go through all of it just because there is a lot of stuff. I'm not sure we ever talked about it, but I'm sure everyone already knows about the monster arts collectors out there that Destroya, who is getting pretty expensive on the aftermarket, is now being reissued, special color edition. To be honest, the color mostly looks more vibrant, in my opinion, compared to the older version, but it doesn't look like there's really many improvements. I don't think there's any structural improvements on the figure. When they first announced the Burning Godzilla Ultimate version, it was almost kind of predicted that we were going to get Destroyer next. So, you know, and that is what happened. So there we go. We have it. It looks good for people who, especially for people who missed out. What do you think, Rick? Now?
Oh yeah, it's I don't collect this line, but it's a great piece, and I know people want it.
Yeah. So, you know, great for those guys who missed out in particular. We're getting Nemesis for the Kinnikuman line. And we're also getting Ramen Man.
It's that crazy looking face guy.
Yep.
As I like to call him. He's crazy looking face guy.
A lot of fans have been waiting for that one for a while, so we're getting Figure Art Zero EX Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku. It is actually the first Super Saiyan 4 Bandai product in the new Tamashii Nation stuff, basically. It's the first product for Super Saiyan 4. If any of you guys are keeping track, it is the first product. It looks pretty good. It's pretty much the shot of Super Saiyan 4 from the opening of Dragon Ball GT. At the end of the opening. So right before it shows the title, it shows him in this angle right here, in that pose. And it looks great. Actually, this is probably more perfect right here. This is the angle right here. So what do you think, Rick, now?
I don't particularly like the series. I think this look is really cool. And I think the figure looks really nice.
Yeah. So, you know, you guys like Super Saiyan 4 is definitely something to look out for. We've already seen Rock Lee, but he's finally been solicited, and he's gone up for pre-order on the Tamashii web, and as well as, I believe, in the US Bluefin as well. You get pretty much Drunken Style, you get the Gates head. It seems to be a pretty loaded figure as far as options go. So, you know, for the Rock Lee fans out there, it's definitely a must get. Or if you just collect the Naruto line in general. What do you think, Rick?
I know the only complaint I've heard is that people wish that there was an interchangeable chest so that he wouldn't be wearing the vest if you didn't want him to.
Oh, yeah. Well, this version of the story, he always wears the vest. Yeah, so, I mean, it's very seldom off. But hey, you know what? It's always cool to have more options. So no, not knocking them at all. But he always wears it pretty much at this stage of the story. And we have the inevitable reissue of the Garuda and Super Mecha Godzilla, would basically create Super Mecha Godzilla. And this actual Garuda backpack piece was originally offered separately years back when the Monster Arts line first started. And it commands crazy prices because it pretty much came out right before Bluefin finalized their distribution line with Bandai. And because of that, this Garuda, the backpack piece, was never offered in the States. And it goes for crazy money. It was considered probably one of the most desired pieces in the entire collection. Until now, because now you can get it, although it doesn't have the actual laser effects. There is some things that the original version comes with, but the paint job and even some of the remoting and stuff is a lot better, actually. It's actually greatly improved on this, at least improved, if anything, over the original release. So if you're a fan and, you know, you've always wanted this Garuda backpack for your Mechagodzilla, but never was able to drop the $200 or $300 it goes for, this is a great opportunity to pick it up now with your Mechagodzilla. And yeah, I mean, it looks good. What do you think, Rick, now?
You know, I don't do anything with Godzilla, but very cool looking, very, very cool looking piece.
Yeah,
you know, an iconic character that anyone, even if you didn't know this stuff, would know, and you could see the quality of the piece.
And if anything, the great thing about it is it gives you guys a chance to get it at a great price, at a retail price. So.
Oh yeah, man, always good when stuff like this happens.
I'll just skim through this stuff real quick. We're getting Amazing Mighty in the Shinko Choseiho line, which is the Kamen Rider Renewal series. It looks really good, as what you would expect from the Shinko Choseiho line. We're getting that Gatak extender that we talked about a while back. You know, to go with your Gatak. We're finally getting that as well. Looks great.
The Gatak extender.
Yep. And we're also getting the Amelia's VF1J. Unfortunately, it's a Tamashii web shop exclusive, unlike her counterpart and husband Max, who's a regular release. But it's okay, because you can actually. This also comes with these awesome stands that you can, that you can also comes with one for Max as well, and even has an image of Max on the base right there. So and an image of EMIYA, so you can display them next to each other. So it looks good, and it's gonna complement your Max if you already pre-ordered one. So it's cool that they're doing it, and a lot of fans have been waiting, and it was inevitably coming because it's just a VF1 anyway. So great to see that's happening. Anything we missed? I don't think so. Okay. Oh, Bandai's starting a new line, Super Mini Pla. It's like a smaller model kit, and they're doing Galgaigar, which seems to be fully transformable. So it's very cool. There were more stuff shown for it at the recent Tokyo Hobby Show, and it looks good. You guys can skim through it again. Just try and get through this stuff real quick. Looks good. It's a 3D printed image as far as the prototype, so texturing is not so great, but it's okay. Let's just move on, I guess. Since you guys don't want to hear me talk about Galgaigar all day. Aniplex Plus has put up these awesome Caraform Plus series. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works Saber Maiko version. It's one of the Yukata, the Maiko one. Looks really nice. They're doing Rin as well, as you can see. What do you think of these, Rick? Dom? Buy or no buy?
Oh yeah, very cool pieces. Very pretty.
Very cute. They're exclusive, but 4,000 yen. It's all right. A good buy if you guys want to get. I mean, yeah. So definitely worth grabbing if you're a fan. All right. Let's go through. Van Presto announced their next, looks like SQ figure. Is it SQ? No, it's just a regular prize figure. Mikumo. That's not. Oh, this is all the prize figures coming out. All cool stuff. A lot of stuff we've actually already seen.
Yeah, it's just like the pamphlet that you order off of.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the thing that is essentially the sent out to the retailers and stuff. So. The Good Smile Olivier figure from God Eater 2 Rage Burst. That looks really good.
Yeah, she looks beautiful, man.
If you're a God Eater fan, the game just came out in the US. So definitely pick it up for your PS4. Definitely the only system to play it on. So it's definitely worth it. Definitely worth picking up. All right. I believe she's up for order now. So we have the Chaozu Suicide Backpack.
The Chaozu, the cryings.
The Suicide Backpack. The Sacrifice of Chaozu.
The Goodbye TN.
Very sad. Now you can relive the moment every day of your life with this backpack. You could have this look on your face each time you turn around and look at someone. What do you think, Rick Dom? Buy or no buy for you?
If I didn't have to go through some third-party person to try to order this thing, I'd probably buy it. If it was on AmiAmi right now for pre-order, I'd be very tempted.
Definitely very cool. It's unfortunate that it's a premium Bandai exclusive.
Bastard.
And this is something that Rick Dom is very excited about. The Komodo Dragon.
Hell yeah, man. Anything from this Sofubi line that they got going over at Kyoto, man. It's all cool. Look at this shit. Look at that thing. There's a Komodo Dragon.
This thing is less than $20.
It's less than $20. There's a picture of it with the girl's hands. I'm sure it's there. Look at that shit.
Yeah.
Look how big that thing is. For less than $20, it's got articulation. It looks fantastic. I'm with it, man. I'm 100,000% behind this line, man. Call me McDonald's because I'm loving it.
All right. That's looking good, man. They got some other cool ones in line, too, like a panda and stuff like that. Definitely worth picking up if you guys just want to have big Komodo dragons terrorizing your action figure. That's what it's for. So, anyways. So new figure art Zero, One Piece, the gold from the new movie. Koala and Sabo, the partners, and they look really good. They look like great figure art Zero figures. Nothing out of the ordinary. Look good. And we also got the shattered announcement of the Shattered Glass Masterpiece Convoy, Optimus Prime. And,
AKA the broke man's Bape. The broke man's Eva. You know, there you go. The broke man's Eva. Optimus Prime.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, you guys can see it. I believe it's going to be an Asia release, but I think apparently it's going to be available in the US somehow too. Obviously, this is all Hasbro looking stuff. It's not a Japanese release. But the Shattered Glass is essentially like an evil version, evil all parallel universe where the Decepticons are the good guys and the Autobots are the bad guys. This is the Optimus Prime from that universe. So,
at the very least, you can be very well assured and feel happy knowing that if you go on Big Bad Toy Store, it'll be there.
Yeah, if you guys are interested, BBTS is going to be your place for this, for sure. All right. Now we've got that out the way. So what page are we on? We're on page 2 now. This was announced at Power Morphicon. This picture, I guess, has finally come out from Dengeki Hobby. It is Daizujin, the SOC version, the Solo Chogokin one. So you're basically the first high-end Daizujin toy. It's going to be much better than that Bandai kids toy. Even though they reissued it in die-cast parts, this one's much better than that one.
Yeah, and it's going to be better than that one, that Robot Damashi one as well.
Oh, you mean the Super Robot Chogokin one?
Super Robot Chogokin, yeah.
Well, this one also transforms. So, I mean, Super Robot Chogokin has better articulation, but this one is going to be...
One thing to add is, we've discussed this picture before. And number 2, I'm fucking sick of seeing this picture. I want to see this thing transformed. Stop showing me the
New York Comic Con. I'm assuming it's probably when we're going to see it.
I'm sick of seeing these in animal form, man, in beast form. I don't want it no more. Keep those pictures.
And here's an awesome Ghost in the Shell footage.
Oh my god! You
awesome.
Ever wanna
Ghost in the Shell footage? Or you want to shoot yourself in the head? You know?
Yeah. Some of the. It's like they don't understand the tone of the series at all. It was terrible.
Simply, it is no good.
It's no good, man. It's no good.
All right. We're getting some exclusives for the 4-inch '09. Your upgrade pack for your Rockman EXE for new faces.
With the statue?
Yep.
With the 4-inch 0 statue.
And we have Neto, who is essentially a figure art Zero.
Yep.
And you get all of these parts, these new parts.
For the easy payment of $19.99.
I mean, you can now do this with your Saito style.
And there's the little green guy.
Yep.
Forget his name.
All right. Artifacts 1/6 scale one. Green Lantern finally to join your Flash, Superman, Wonder Woman and Batman.
That all came out over a year ago.
But Wonder Woman, I think didn't she come out just not that? Oh no. Flash is the one that came out not that. No, Flash. When did Flash come out? He's the most recent one. When did he come out?
Flash came out like in April.
Oh, okay. That wasn't too long ago.
Yeah, Wonder Woman came out.
Yeah, Wonder Woman came out a while ago, but the Batman came out years before Superman did.
Yeah.
So
this is all so ridiculous.
They're doing it. We're also getting Artifacts Plus Batman and Robin. You know, the goddamn Batman version
with Jason Todd.
Although this is Dick Grayson. This is the Batman All-Star Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the goddamn Batman.
He looks just like.
He looks like Jason Todd. Yeah, I agree too. That's just how he draws him. But yeah, he looks like Jason Todd.
Yeah.
I mean, the main thing is he has these little bangs.
Yeah, those little bangs.
He has those little bangs. But it's the actual.
Don't Grayson.
Yeah, it's the goddamn. This is something that you ordered, isn't it? The Murray Rose.
Oh yeah, I ordered her. I thought you were talking about Batman. I was.
Oh no, Murray Rose. Murray Rose.
Hell yeah, man.
Dead or Alive 5 round, the first of the new Dead or Alive 5 1/6 scale series from Kotobukiya. I assume it's going to be the first in the series, because I'm assuming we're going to get more. So, and it's looking pretty good. 1/6 scale, nice size, it's cute. Wearing a little gothic Lolita outfit. It's nice.
It's really such a nice looking piece.
Tell us some of your motivations and why you ordered it right now.
Let me tell you the motivations, all right? I'm going to make this huge list. This huge long list, you know. Number 1, motivation. It looks incredible. Number 2, huge motivation is the fact that, you know, we can get more. When you buy this, you know, I want all of the girls. It's not fair. You know, there's so many other good characters, and we all know which one I want. A certain character that resembles a certain Love Live member that likes to play beach volleyball in Dead or Alive. The Honokas, number 1. We need her. You know, we need more. The motivation is there.
I think it's time for you to go on the Kotobukiya Facebook page and start demanding, start rallying the troops, man. You gotta put your mouth where your money is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, I'm almost tempted to order 2 of this girl just to ensure that a Honoka comes next. Where is the Honoka? She likes beach volleyball. Where is she? It's not fair. I hope we get more, because this is an incredible looking piece, and if we get more characters, you know, personal bias aside from Honoka, you know, if we get more characters from this line in this quality, man, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a sick pieces to have in your collection. And especially if you do Honoka.
It's looking good. The sculpt looks really great, and I mean, Kotobukiya has definitely been always had a great relationship with Tecmo, and they've done 1/6 scale characters from Dead or Alive before, but this is the first one they've done in a while, and they've even done 1/6 scale characters from Ninja Gaiden also. So hopefully we get to see some more of that stuff as well in the future, especially if Murray Rose does well.
Hell yeah, man.
For those of you who are going to be at New York Comic Con, and you guys are going to be a Square Enix booth, and you guys love black and white and noir and all that very, you know, cinematic, gritty stuff, black and white Superman is monotone. Superman is Play Arts Kai from Batman vs Superman will be available at the booth. If you already have the Batman from SDCC, then you're not going to want to miss this one.
And then you know what? You want to be ahead of the game. You want to be 2 steps ahead of everyone. You want to make everyone look like a fool, huh? Is that your goal? Well, here's a little tip. You take your regular Superman, you put his head and hands on there, and boom, you have Justice League version of Superman before anybody else.
That's genius.
Take that to the bank. Cash that check.
That's genius.
There you go.
That's genius.
You heard it here first.
That's genius. All right. I think we're getting a model kit of this, obviously. Also went up for order Square Enix is the variant Play Arts Kai Batman Rogues Gallery, which the theme is all his villains in Rogues Gallery dressing up as Batman. And the first one, obviously, is Joker. Very nice sculpt. Of course, again, like any of the Play Arts Kai special stuff, it's not for everybody, but it is a really, really great sculpt. Very detailed, nice texturing. And yeah, it's got a very cool artistic thing to it.
It's begun to be such a popular thing to have the Joker dress up as Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks cool. I'm not going to buy it, but it is really awesome.
First the Hot Toys, now this.
Yeah.
Now this.
If you guys are fans of Pacific Rim, Max Factory is probably doing the definitive Gypsy Danger figure, period. If you're not happy with your Ultimate Edition NECA Gypsy Danger, this is probably the Gypsy Danger for you. However, it's also going to come with a lot of work because it's a model kit. But yeah, as you can see, it's pretty much perfect as far as looks go. The size is probably a little bit bigger than the NECA figure, but you know, it looks good. And the articulation, I'm not sure how great it is, but it has the LED light, just like the NECA one, but it has more details, and obviously, since it's a model kit, it'll be sharper and everything. So, what do you think, Rick Dom? Rick Dom?
I mean, let's just say Max Factory is going to show NECA how it's done.
Are you saying that you love the NECA one more?
No, I'm saying Max Factory is going to show NECA how it's done. Hello.
There you have it, people. Anyways, if you guys are interested, it's already, I believe it's already up for order on the Omni. It's 1/350.
I think it,
11?
I said I think it is already on.
Yeah, it's already up for order. Let's read some of these features. It says, the massive appearance of the Jaeger has been converted into a plastic model kit, using 3D CG data from the film for a faithful, detailed rendition of the original that includes the inner frame of the armor for fans to build for themselves. The kit is separated by color and makes use of snap kit parts for easy assembly, with decals included to bring out the atmosphere of the film even more. The finished model also has a very satisfying size that is sure to stand out in any collection. The plasma cannon and chainsword are both included as parts of the display on the model. And the kit also comes with an LED lighting unit to light up the turbine on the Jaeger's chest. Experience the incredible presence of the Gypsy Danger in your collection once you built it with your own two hands. While the kit doesn't necessarily require paint, if you want it to look like this, you're going to have to paint it. And I highly recommend you get up if you want to paint this kit up anyway. So it looks like it's pretty much detail-wise similar to something like the Kotobukiya high-end master model line. So if you guys are fans, definitely worth looking into. Also went up for order this week is the third figure in the Durarara Figma line, and likely probably going to be the last figure in the line, only because they only ever do these three characters. Of Celti Sturluson, arguably the protagonist of the entire Durarara saga. She is joining the Figma line. We knew she was coming for a while, but I mean, it has really great, really great accessories. If you're a fan of the series, it's definitely a must-buy. Rick Down, what do you think?
I am very sad that, these people, they can go ahead and give, Miku her bike, but they can't give Celti a bike. This makes me very sad. This figure looks fantastic. I'm going to buy it. Already pre-ordered. No question. But no motorcycle. It makes me sad. I want to cry.
Yeah, it is very sad that she doesn't come with her motorcycle. I don't remember what bike she rode, but if you can find one, you can probably customize one into her bike. It wouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, just that flat black and like some smoke.
Yeah, and just create smoke effects for the bike. So it's doable, but I mean, great that we're getting it. if anything. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised this is the final figure for the Durarara Figma lineup. Only because, again, they only ever really do these 3 characters. Izaya, Shizuo, Celti. Those are only 3 characters they ever really do. So it is sad for the fans, but this is probably the end. More than likely. If I was a betting man, I would definitely say that. What do you think, Rick? Now?
Yeah, that's probably it. Sad, sad, sad truth. If it wasn't for Figure Arts, you know, dicking us over on those teases, I'll forever never let them live it down. That soda machine. My God, that soda machine.
All right. Well, we do have the Tamashii event coming up. We're just going to go quickly through those exclusives real quick. There's going to be a real color RX-78-2 real color version. This is basically a realistic color version, what they perceive as a realistic color version of what RX-78 would look like if it was real colors. Still looks a little bit anime looking for sure, but I mean, it is more real colors than the primary color original one. That's one exclusive. The next exclusive is quite possibly the last usage of this mode before they probably upgrade it, which is the GX02R mode, which is Great Mazinger. This is the Tamashii Nations 2016 version. I have this toy, but I don't have it, excuse me, I don't have it right next to me at the moment. But I'm assuming it's just basically a nicer, fancier looking paint job. They're going to upgrade this more than likely because Mazinger is getting a renewal. So this is probably this is kind of like the farewell to this mode at this convention. We are also getting Shinko Choseiho, Dark Kabuto. This figure was essentially destined to come out as soon as they did Kabuto because it's essentially just a straight repaint. He is the evil version of Kabuto from another dimension. And it's the Shinko Choseiho, so it's a must-buy. And it's also a Tamashii Nations event exclusive, so you know that's the only way you're able to get it. We're getting the Clone Trooper Phase 1.
With the red.
Yep, the Captain version. Again, it's essentially just a straight repaint, so I'm surprised they haven't been milking these even sooner, but you know, we're getting a milking of it right here. It's pretty cool. And that looks like I think that's all the exclusives that were so far that they've revealed. And we might get 1 or 2 more, I think. And I think that's it. What do you think of the exclusives so far, Rick? Anything interest you? RX-78, Dark Kabuto, Great Mazinger, or the Clone Trooper Phase 1 Captain?
I'll tell you this: these exclusives, they're freaking exclusive, man. You heard it here first.
All right.
I think that Clone Trooper's cool. I don't think I'm gonna bother to get it. Sounds like too much of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I think the only thing I'm gonna buy is just the Dark Kabuto. We're gonna obviously get a few more exclusives. They're always gonna be like this, like repaints and stuff like that. But we're probably gonna get like a repaint of an effect part. We're probably gonna get like Dark Lightning or something like that. They always do stuff like that, so we'll probably get some other stuff. We'll get a Saint Seiya one as well. They always do a Saint Seiya one, so I'm assuming we're gonna get another one. So, you know, that'll probably be something. Hopefully be some cool stuff to talk about as the weeks get closer to the event. We are also getting the Mecha Koei Macross Elysian. The Macross Elysian is the Macross that's from Macross Delta. This kit is how much is this thing? 500 yen kit. So just imagine if you're a guy who likes to take the most you like to just turn, I'm not going to say shit, but you want to turn pennies into $100 bills, this is the type of kit for you. They generally are very bare bones. There's not a lot of detail, but what a lot of modelers love to do is add detail. They love to carve in panel lines and create tiny microscopic planes, all kinds of crazy stuff to do. This is the kit for you. These are the type of kits you want. These 500 yen kits. So yeah, if you want a challenge, you're a modeler and you want to do some crazy stuff and win, maybe win some awards. This is the type of stuff you want to pimp out to show off your skills. So
hashtag pimpin'. Pimpin'.
All right. We're not going to talk about Ghost in the Shell. Let's just skip that. All right. And I think that pretty much covers, a lot of the stuff.
There really wasn't a great amount of news. Just more showing of stuff that we already saw before.
Yeah, if you guys got questions of anything, just start asking them now. I mean, we're going to get through most of this stuff probably pretty soon. More Diaclone stuff was shown at Tokyo Hobby Show as well. You can see right here, it's pretty awesome. Looks like it's Dia Battlers version 2, V2. Yeah, so it's like another one. We're getting these Voldums kits. And yeah, some cool stuff. Max Factory section. Showing off their model kit line, which I'm still very curious about. That Gypsy Danger, I mostly kind of wanted to buy it just for the sake of it being, I don't have any, I never built a Max Factory kit before. We're finally seeing the 120 scale Cheryl Gnome. Looks incredible. I'm probably going to buy this one, which means I'll probably end up buying Duranka as well. They've also shown that they're going to be doing all the Macross Delta Valkyrie girls as well in 1/20th scale. So, if you want to paint up a 1/20th scale figure to paint up, well, here you go right here. Bear in mind, if you want them to look like this, you're going to have to paint them. So if you're not ready for that, you might as well wait for a SH Figure Arts. We're getting Kankale ones as well. And, all right, moving on. Yeah, there's just a lot of Voldums in the Wave section of the booth. Aoshima, Rick Dom's favorite company.
Oh, man. Let's just, when it comes to favorite companies, number one.
Right. This is also something that's really great that was just shown. The Metal Build, you guys know I'm a huge Metal Build fan. So we're going to be getting Metal Build F91. F91 is not particularly one of my favorite designs, but it's awesome that they're doing it. So this is the first teaser pick, and we've seen it on display and everything. It looks fucking incredible. So for all you Metal Build fans out there, it's a must buy, and it's going to be probably impossible to get, just like every other Metal Build, but it's going to be worth it. Joker is coming in the next Bandai drop for you guys who care.
Boo.
You can see the likeness actually looks pretty good in these pictures.
Boo. This version of Joker sucks. Boo.
We're also getting the next of the DD Panoramation line. We're getting a baby Athena right here, which is very cool. We never got that in the regular.
Adam, as Adam would call it, Panoramation.
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 Yeah, so we're getting baby Athena, the crawling one, and baby Athena, the fucking, wrapped in a cloth. And it really sucks because I really want a baby Athena for the main Saint Cloth Myth line. It kind of sucks that we're getting one in this line and not getting one in that line. Oh well. They had to make this one appealing somehow, so it's whatever. We're getting the High Metal R Dugram, which is the next thing in the High Metal R series. They really should do Voldum's High Metal R. That'll be fucking awesome. But this Dugram looks really nice. I'm actually not a big fan of Dugram. Even when I was a kid, I thought it was kind of boring. I never got a chance to really watch it as I became an adult. I love a huge super fan of Voldum's and Leisner, but Dugram I've never been that big of a fan of. But maybe I should get around to watching it again, to convince myself to spend money on these figures. So they look really nice. What do you think, Rick, Donald Dugram? What do you think of the design?
Let me tell you something about
boxy design.
Let me tell you something about the Dugram Dugos. They're good. They look very, very cool. I've always been a fan of their design.
All right, moving on. We have
Dograms.
the full armor version Gundam Robot Damashi. This is done in the standard original colors. And what's very interesting about this one, it has a very retro feel to it, very retro look. Some of these awesome missile launching effects parts. It's also going to be in the next Bandai drop. So if you guys are dying for a very real color RX-78 wearing armor, this is definitely one of the things for you. How about you, Rick Dom? You just look like something that's going to tickle your fancy?
Let's just say that fancies, they're getting tickled. Damn it, these damn beast modes, I'm sick of it.
All right. So we're going back to these pictures again where it's the same exact photo that, we always see these damn Zoo Ranger robots in. We're also getting movie realization Iron Man. Movie realization Iron Man, Rick, what do you think? Rick Dom, movie realization
He's too fat. He's too fat.
Okay, so it's too chubby for Rick Dom.
Too fat.
Rick Dom doesn't like chubby Iron Man. So
P.S. No chubbies.
No chubbies. And this is apparently Iron Man Mark III. So this is the feudal version of Mark III.
That looks like Iron Man Mark Pizza.
Mark Pizza? Okay, well.
He's eating too much, man.
And here's some pictures of the F91 metal build, which is absolutely incredible. What do you think, Rick Dom, F91?
Oh, man. Let's just say that's the biggest 91 I've ever seen.
And of course, like all metal build line, it's designed by some of the top toy designers in the industry.
Yeah, very cool looking piece for sure.
Yeah. And we got Dugram again, which is going up on this Bandai drop. Looks pretty loaded actually, accessory wise. Looks pretty good. We have the next Dunevine figure, the Robot Damashi line. The Zwars, the other pilot version.
Zwar.
Yeah. Zwar. More Pat Labor. We have a carrier for Pat Labor.
We all know that KO, this man EMIYA, he's all about Pat Labor.
We're getting Gun Tank in the Robot Damashi anime line. Looks like it's going to be Tamashi Web exclusive.
He's also always about Gun Tank.
Gun Tank and white base deck. Wow, it's pretty cool. So it's going to be a fucking diorama. Look at that. That's what you're going to be buying right there.
Told you, man. This is just what he's all about.
And, full armor Gundam broken apart. That's all the accessories. All the armor comes off, in case you guys were wondering. It all does come off. And Dark Kabuto, going to be an exclusive.
Kabuto, he's dark.
All right. I think we're almost at the end, guys. We're almost at the end. Look, we also got this awesome model kit they've shown. The Andromeda from Yamato 2202, which is the next season following from Yamato 2199. The Andromeda, which is awesome. It's a model kit, though. We're waiting for the Soul of Chogo conversion, of course. We're also Bandai's also expanding their Star Wars model kits into 1/6 scale. So for you guys who have that Hot Toys Darth Vader, but you guys don't want to spend and buy 7 or 8 Hot Toy Stormtroopers, this might be a good alternative. These are going to retail for around like $70, so in Japan. So you could probably, you can build up a small. You can buy 3 of these for the price of 1 Hot Toy Stormtrooper, pretty much. So, Rick Dom, will you be indulging yourself in 1/6 scale Stormtroopers from Bandai model kits?
Maybe if they do like movie 7 ones, but not these first trilogy ones.
Oh, well, there you have it.
I don't have any first trilogy Hot Toys, but I do have some of the new series, some of the episode 7 stuff, and I have more on order. So I would like 1/6 scale ones from episode 7. I'd like that.
Very cool. We're also getting a 500 yen, 600 yen model kit of a Millennium Falcon. Again, this is one of those model kits if you want to torture yourself and test your modeling skill. Try to make this 600 yen very, very bare bones model kit look as detailed as possible. This is for you.
So much power.
That's the challenge. We've also we've seen these already, these Figurized mechanics, but we're also getting Figurized standard Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku, which these are prototypes, which look only okay, but you know we know Figurized standard that the final product differs a lot from the prototype, the final prototype. So definitely they'll look a lot better. We're also getting number 18, Android number 8. Looks good. Doesn't look like much of the engineering's been finished yet. Well, actually, number 18 looks like it's probably pretty decent. Mr. Satan and also the Maten Roshi. These two are very rough. Look like they've more or less just been printed out and more or less just hand painted right away. So they don't look so hot yet. But I'm sure as we get closer to release and they get engineered and fixed out, we'll finally get them. And we'll find a better example of them, how they will look. Curious how they're going to offer these. So far, the Figurized standard line for Dragon Ball has been kind of being sold as versus packs. I mean, they released 2 at a time of rivalry, so I'm curious how they're going to do these when they get around to doing these. Maybe Maten Roshi and Mr. Satan are going to be sold as, I don't know, they'll probably be sold as counterparts to each other. Let's wait and see. And more Ultraman vehicles for the Mecha Collei series, which is, again, those really, really, if you want to torture yourself and test your skills, these are the type of model kits you buy. Because they're really small and very bare bones. A lot of detail you pretty much have to add on your own. So, and we're finally getting the VF31C, which belongs to Mirage, in the 172 scale Macross Delta kit series. It's looking really, really good. I like pretty much all of them. I mean, they're all pretty solid buys. And I think we're pretty much almost at the end. Just bear with me. I just want to get through it because it's kind of an OCD thing of mine, I guess. HG-1144 gun cannon, the Origin 4 version. From the Origin 4, the Origin anime. So from episode 4. This gun cannon looks pretty cool, pretty sick. We're finally getting more details of the armor parts for the heavy armor parts for the VF-0S or the VF-0 series. So we're probably getting much closer to a release of some type since we're finally seeing color photos of a prototype, which are right here. It's looking pretty good. So hopefully Arcadia releases that soon. It doesn't cost a fortune, which it probably will. So, and we are going to end with the GM Sniper 2. Which just looks pretty hot. Not gonna lie, that's gonna be a must-buy for fans. So let's see what else we can kind of cover real quick at the hobby show before we move on. Looks like they're going to be offering a Dendrobium again in the P hobby. It's not surprising. It's probably something that's not too easy to sell in the regular market now. So not surprising you would offer it as a P hobby shop exclusive. Well, granted, this looks like it's not actually 1144 because this looks like it's for these smaller figures. So it's all good, whatever. It's a Dendrobium. That's all that matters. This is Galgaigar kit again. Looks like it's probably around like 5-6 inches tall. If that's the case, it's actually pretty impressive with being able to fully transform and everything. I guess we'll see more details as it gets closer to release. Zabungo kits. You guys are fans of Zabungo. Looks like it's also part of the same line as the Gaigar. The mini claw, that's what they call it. We're also getting one of the Daizujin from Zoo Ranger or Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Megazord model kit as well. Looks like it's pretty good. I'm assuming we'll have the same gimmick as the Gaigar. We'll actually be able to transform and everything, I assume. And some other stuff, some Kamen Rider Exceed stuff, the new series of Kamen Rider, which I believe is starting this week. Exceed, I mean, it's Exceed, not Exceed. The Kamen Rider Exceed. So Kamen Rider Exceed, the new series.
I've returned for the Exceed.
And it looks like we might be at the very end now. Before we move on to the Q&A. Well, actually, we're not just Q&A yet. We have a couple topics we need to cover, but it'll be quicker than this, guys. Don't worry. Hopefully you guys are somewhat informed watching this. Looks like this is basically looks like Kodawukia's section. So, yep. They have something called Hexagear, which is a new line. Looks like original stuff. Looks pretty cool, though. A lot of cool-looking robots and stuff like that, and rideable creatures, and very imaginative stuff. Cool designs. Similar to their MSG line, basically, and the Frame Arms line. All these cool original works. This is the EVA 01 TV version model kit. Of course, they were going to do this because, you know, you've already done all the other ones from the movies. And as I mentioned before, it's always kind of odd for me to look at this one now because I'm so used to the movie version. Whenever I see this all purple midsection, it kind of throws me off. I'm just so used to looking at the movie version now. So, but hey, this is the classic TV version, so definitely cool. I'm used to this, basically, right here. I'm not as used to this anymore. I'm more used to this. When I think of EVA 01 now, this is the one I think of, not this one. You would think with such an iconic design, you wouldn't really forget it. I don't really forget per se, but this is the one that comes to my mind these days. So, anyways. Gojos the Ogre, which is already up for pre-order. Examples of Gojos the Ogre's weapons being placed onto what looks like a Dark Horn. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. They need to start doing more new modes for the Zoids and H&M line. We're all waiting for that. So, and these are just more Frame Arms girls, and this is Super Robot Wars. Yeah, Super Robot Wars, original generations. We're getting a Madoka, you know, PVC figure. Velvet from Tales of Berseria. Some cool stuff for sure. What do you think of these? Do you think of this stuff is cool, Rick Dom, right here? This Madoka and this Velvet?
Man, that's Velvet if I've ever seen it. You know what I mean? And Madoka's really nice.
Yeah. So much Madoka stuff though. So
I was wondering, is that little seat like a little plush or is it actually like hard?
Can't tell. Looks like I think this is sculpted.
Yeah.
I think it's sculpted because these folds look too perfect.
It's good sculpt work.
These folds look too perfect right here.
Yeah.
I think it must be sculpted. All right. I think that finishes for the hobby show. We can now actually we'll wait. There's more Gundam stuff to be shown. This is just showing the Gundam 7 sword. RG Gundam 7 sword. Looks really nice. We must buy. We're getting a full armor new Gundam MG version KA. Not surprising we're getting it. It looks cool. I believe this one is yes, it is a P Hobby, so it's an online shop exclusive.
The P Bondi.
Yep, the P Bondi, the P Hobby, and the HGCE Sword Impulse, which is also going to be a P Bondi. They love P Bondi these days, so. And you can reenact that scene where Shin and Kira were fighting each other along the water, where he destroyed Freedom. So, in the Impulse, using a strategy. Some more SD Gundam. The GM Sniper again, GM Sniper 2, which is really nice. That puzzle is really good. We're now getting what is probably going to be the final version, the final time they're going to sell us the Unicorn mode in the MG series. This one comes with the green frame and the red cycle frame. It's essentially the ultimate version of Unicorn, and titanium finish, so it's going to have the metallic coating onto the body. Retail is going to be 12,000 yen. Looks like it's going to be a regular release, which it would be because it's, unicorns generally are, for the most part. Not sure how they're going to do the alternating between the different frames, only because I would hate to have to disassemble the model every single time. I want to change the color of the frame, but I guess we'll see how they do it. I'm assuming it must be re-engineered in some way where you can do it somewhat easily, but I don't know. So let's see if it says anything here. It just says convertible from red, green, and clear parts. Red, green, clear parts. So I don't know. Don't know how they do it. Don't know how they're gonna do it. Don't think it really mentions anything about how it's gonna change. Don't see it on here. Oh well. Psycho Zaku version KA. Thunderbolts version. This is the MG, which is coming out in December. Some new kits. Yeah, we kind of talked about already. You grabbing any of these new kits? Rick Nam.
I've not even watched Iron Blooded Orphans yet.
No. Maybe just the Build Fighters ones then.
Yeah, that's pretty much all. For the past few months, that's pretty much like all that I buy is just Build Fighters.
And those are definitely going to be coming out. So.
The Build Fight.
More stuff from the second season and first season of. This is Build Fighters right here. The Luna Gazer Gundam.
They're build fighting.
Right. So what are our topics for today after all this stuff? All right, so let's talk about, some people have been curious about this particular item right here, the Toys Alliance Optimus Prime G1. It's an 18-inch Optimus Prime, which, people, it's been up for a while. A lot of people have been asking me about how's the quality and everything. It looks like it's pretty good. I mean, look at it right here. It looks pretty good.
Yeah. Sadly, we don't have it in hand, but it looks fucking good.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, the thing is, this thing is also really inexpensive. It's only, I believe, like less than $200. This thing's like 18 inches tall. So it doesn't transform, which is fine. It's not a big deal. But it seems some people seem like there's already reviews of it out there. So hopefully it's a good piece. I definitely ordered one. Hopefully it'll be good. So Toys Alliance also apparently has a Facebook. This is their first product, I think. I don't believe they've ever done anything else. I don't believe they have. Oh, they're doing an 18-inch Fall of Cybertron Optimus Prime as well. Wow, these guys are just going crazy. Look at this crazy thing right here.
Oh Jesus, it's damn. I would have preferred War for Cybertron.
Yeah.
That one with like the one with like the cool chest and like the original, like the
first game.
The first game. I like that one the best. This is still really cool.
And wow, look, it even has a converting hand. Hand can convert into a gun. Oh, this one looks like it's not actually. This is actually their die-cast series. It looks like, I believe. Not sure this one's going to be 18 inches. I'm very curious. Fully posable, over 90 points of articulation. Looks like it's the same line. I think it says MAS02. I think that this one said MAS01 on it. Oh well, whatever. It doesn't matter. It looks good though. Oh, this is the Megatron is the next one. What the hell did they say? This is MAS002. Oh, they're talking about MAS. So this is MAS03. Oh, this is just their Goken. Okay, so this is their die-cast series right here. Sorry if I confuse anyone. This is their die-cast series right here. I believe this is a follow-up to that one die-cast one they already did. That one that recently came out. And I believe this one is their 18-inch series, which is their, big 18-inch. It looks like Convoy is the first one, Megatron's the second one. No prototype yet, though. Looks like the quality looks pretty good. It's like a Chinese company, Toys Alliance, so probably a company that used to do third-party stuff, I assume. And it looks like it's really nice. Did you order this one, Rick? Now you ordered it, right?
Did I order what? Sorry, my dog was annoying me.
This 18-inch Optimus Prime.
Hell yeah! I saw it at first, and it was one of those pieces like, damn, this is really cool. I wish I could buy it. And then I looked at the price.
This is crazy. This is crazy how huge it is.
Yeah, I looked at the price. Dude, that is $179.99 on BBTS. Shipping through BBTS is going to be $8. What a steal under $200. Incredible.
Yeah, this is definitely a piece to look out for, guys. If you guys are in Optimus Prime, you guys don't care if it transforms or not, but just want something really big. This is definitely a piece to look out for. So, all right. You guys can see right here the comparison with Devastator. It's pretty much the same size. Devastator's a pretty big toy, so. All right. So, Toys Alliance, Convoy, looks like it's going to be a thumbs up. So, moving on to the next thing. Another big thing was announced this week. Okay, let me pull it up for you guys. Not sure if it was announced on here. Nope, wasn't on here. So I think it was only on their Instagram. But Prime 1 announced that they have the Berserk license. I think they announced it a while ago, but they actually made a very official announcement on their Instagram with some 3D sculpting tees of Guts as well. Right here, so it's looking really good. And this looks like the first figure will be the standard version of Guts, hot off the heels of the anime, which first season of the new anime, which just ended.
Gutsu.
And I'm assuming we're also going to get a Berserker Armor one down the line. This is definitely one of the ones to get right here. The Guts Black Swordsman original version, the Danzai version, which he includes Godo's last to gift. The armor, you can see the leg armor right here. So if this is going to be the one to get, it's probably going to be like $1,000, I assume. But quarter scale Guts is definitely going to be a must buy for me. So looking really great. So for the Berserk fans out there, this is definitely something to look out for. While we're on the topic of statues, there's some awesome statue stuff that have been announced. First 4 figures has announced their statue line. And they announced their first license was, not this one, their first license was One Punch Man. And we'll pull up right here. Unfortunately, the One Punch Man has been kind of, how do you say, they have some licensing issues, so it's not up for order right now. They took it off the site. But the Saitama is available, exclusive version and a regular version. Exclusive one comes with an additional portrait with the less serious, the more comical head. As you can see, it's quarter scale. So this is the size right here when it's next to two people. It's a pretty big statue. Definitely, in my opinion, a must-buy if you're a fan. See if I can pull up the original thread. It's not too much trouble. You can see some of the pictures that they were posting about it, and it looks really good. Rick Dom, what do you think of the Saitama from First Four Figures?
Oh, fucking sick. I mean, we've discussed it, you know, together and not live, but you know, it's like sideshow Saitama.
Yeah, I mean, the quarter scale is definitely very welcome. I've always been a very big fan of the quarter scale size. It's one of my ideal sizes for collectibles, actually. I know it also makes things very, I guess, difficult to collect because they're so big, but definitely I think something that's worth it. It looks like most of it's actually been pulled off, sadly. Looks like it's not on here anymore. But it was actually a really nice statue. Hold on, maybe this I can link to it right here. Don't really want to watch the video. I just want to pull up the pictures, ideally. They also showed a lot of other stuff too. See if I can pull it up. It was during the video. People were grabbing screen grabs of it. They showed the they have the Cowboy Bebop license, and they're doing Cowboy Bebop quarter scale statues. They're doing a lot of pretty cool stuff. So definitely some stuff to look out for. Especially if you're the type of guy you like if you like statues. So especially big statues. Just one more time I can pull up the Saitama. Yeah, so this is the exclusive version right here. That's exclusive portrait. And the regular portrait is just his standard serious portrait. This is the regular portrait right here that you get with the regular version. So it's pretty cool. $375. Obviously not bad. You know, compared to a lot of the, you know, it's pretty much the price a lot of these statues are these days. So what do you think, Rick Dom? Exclusive or non-exclusive for this one?
Like, are you asking me if it's gonna be one or if it's
no.
together?
Would you be happy if you just got the regular one, or do you think you would be all about getting the exclusive version?
The exclusive version having both faces.
Yes. Or would you just be cool? Or would you just be cool? Like, you know, I'll never use that unserious face anyway. I'm fine with just having the regular face on forever.
Well, it depends on the price difference. If the price difference is like 30
$20.
Oh, well, then there's no reason not to. But like, if it was $50 or something, I wouldn't have done it.
So you'd be fine with just a serious face, basically.
I would be fine with just a serious face, but ideally, you know, have both.
Yeah, so that's the full statue of what it looks like right there. It looks good. It's a nice looking statue. It's not like super dynamic or crazy like the like what Sume would go for, which we're gonna get to in a bit. But it does look really good. It does look really good, and I think it's a nice first entry for First Four Figures. First Four Figures have been getting very popular recently in the statue community, especially with maybe their video game stuff has always been like their main thing, but they're starting to branch out now to other things. They're a Hong Kong company, I believe, a Chinese company. I know they have some Japanese staff, but Europeans, like, I'm not actually sure what it is, but they've established themselves in the past couple of years. They've gained a strong following. Some of their statues go for crazy money now, especially some of the Zelda ones. So this is a nice addition. This could potentially be a big one in the future. Right now it's not up for order, but because apparently there are issues with licensing, or I'm not sure exactly what the issue is. They didn't really go into detail, but you can they'll put the exclusive version back up for order, I think, at some point, and you guys can check it out. All right, so moving on from first four figures. Rick Don, what do you think of first four figures? Do you think their stuff is worth buying in your opinion?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And like I said earlier, you know, it's like sideshow level.
Yeah. So now we're at Sume, which we actually had the pleasure to interview at Anime Expo. Look out for that interview. We've been so busy and haven't had the chance to really put it up yet. So in case you guys were wondering what Sume is all about, I don't think you guys aren't necessarily waiting for it, but if you guys are wondering what they're all about, we got a great interview with the CEO of the company. This is one of their statues they've done. I think we talked about it before, their Majin Vegeta, which is part of their first quarter scale statue. It's sold out now, but it's a really incredible looking statue. You see that detail, very, very nice. Sume does really great work. It has LED lights and everything too, to give it a really glowing effect and everything. They also have announced that they're doing quarter scale figures for One Punch Man and also Naruto. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to be the next the quarter scale lineup for those licenses. But this Vegeta is really, really incredible. So unveiled recently, they shown that they have the Terraformers license, which I'm personally a huge fan of. And the first statue is Shokichi Komachi, who is the he's essentially one of the captains of the Bugs 2 mission, Bugs 3 mission, Squad 1. Not Bugs 1, because Bugs 1, those guys are all dead. So most of Bugs 2. But he's based on the giant Japanese hornet. That's his other, creature form, or the mosaic organ. So you can see him right here. He's basically smashing the head of a terraformer, of a cockroach. Really, really incredible. Rick Don, I know you're not necessarily a super Terraformers fan, but what do you think of the statue?
Well, it's pretty much going to be the same thing across the board for Sume. They're fucking incredible. It's funny that, it doesn't matter that they're different series. You look at a statue and you know it's a Sume piece. Just by the way that it's done, the attention to detail, the way that the base looks, it's all very, very cool that they have their own style like that. It's making a name for yourself. Making something noticeable just instantaneously is I know sometimes it's a bad thing, but for Sume's case, in my opinion, it's a good thing. So cool piece. No Terraformers like that, but it's a cool piece.
Yeah, definitely a must buy for me. But yeah, as Rick Don was saying, their stuff is really impressive. Always very elaborate, lots of stuff going on, very busy, which is cool.
Yeah, you just instantly know nobody else would do this but Sume, because nobody else cares as much as they do.
And the guy, one of the guys, the main guy of Sume, the guy Ciro, he's actually very, very passionate. We're definitely going to put that interview up. You guys can see how passionate this guy is. Really passionate guy. Very nice guy. And really knows his stuff. And this is Sume's first foray with the One Punch Man. They've unveiled 2 products. The HQS is their high-quality statue, which is their more high-end line. As you can see, this Genos is the first entry in the line. Is absolutely incredible. What do you think of this Genos, Rick Don?
Well, frankly, I think it's absolutely unreal. And I think anyone who doesn't like it is a fool.
Yeah, all this stuff right here, as you see, it's all LED lighting in his chest and his arms and also the bottom of the base. So it's very, very cool. If you're a fan of One Punch Man, this is definitely something you're gonna want to get, or maybe it'll become a grail piece for you one day. And just dynamics of it is just crazy. And they also showed off their more mid-end line of statues that they do, which is more affordable line, 1/10 scale. their Saitama, which is while much more simple than their HQS stuff, is very dynamic and actually very nice, very nicely sculpted. What do you think, Rick Dom, of this Saitama?
Oh, it's very nice.
It was actually available to buy at the event where they unveiled it, which is called Sume Fan Days. It's 4 days where they have like a big convention. These guys are basically, as me and Rick Don were talking about earlier, these guys are like rock stars in their own town.
Oh yeah,
you know,
fucking rock stars out there.
Yeah, and there's tons of fucking people at this event. You wouldn't think that there'd be so many people at like what? It's like a Tamashi event, but it's in the middle of nowhere in pretty much France, and it's just in Europe, and it's just like crazy amount of people there coming from all parts of the world to check out their stuff. Really incredible. Definitely hope that maybe you know, us as a team we get to check out Sume Fan Days one day, hopefully. So unfortunately they don't have a US distribution, so you have to look around. Looks like they're already sold out on their regular site as far as the 2 high-end HQS pieces. But looks like Saitama is still available. So if you guys are interested in buying that, it is definitely still available. You guys can look around. There are some sites that do sell it. I believe BBTS carries some, and some other companies. I'm not sure exactly who it is carried. So, all right, we got Sume out the way. What else do we have? Is there anything else? I think that's it for all our coverage, and we can kind of move on to Q&A now, which is, you know, a lot of people's favorite part. I hope you guys have been asking the questions. Like I said, keep asking questions, guys. We're going to answer them all. We're not going to get off here until we're done answering everything. So, Rick Dom, without now wasting any time, please tell us, what is the first question?
Let me get to the questions. Seems like we are wasting time. I'm sorry, fans. I've broken your trust. I keep seeing Titans Returns Headmasters in stores. But I remember you all saying that it's all about the Takara Tomy ones. But it's too damn hard to resist them, man. And they're way cheaper. Do you guys think it's cool to buy the Hasbro ones instead?
You want to go first or you want me to go first?
No, I'll just be very quick about it. I know you like to give these guys the great answer. But, you know, I'll just tell you that you can buy whatever the hell you want, man. Yeah, for me and this guy over here, we're all about the Takara Tomy ones because we don't mind.
I'm a big fan. I guess to basically help you work on your decision, the Takara versions are based on the anime series Transformers: The Headmasters, and the actual Hasbro ones are based off the IDW comic book. They're based off more of those designs, and as far as deco and also the head sculpts. I would just say get whatever you like more. If you look at them and you can compare them. I mean, there's pictures of the Takara Tomy version out. They are more expensive, you know, on top of the fact that you do have to import them. Even before shipping, they're more expensive. So, I mean, if you don't mind paying more, like I said, I'm a fan of the Headmasters TV series, which is actually available in the US. You can buy it on DVD if you want to check out the Headmasters TV series. I'm a big fan of that series, so I'm all about that version. However, if you don't care about that TV series at all and you just want to have the toy, I think the Hasbro one is perfectly fine, and it is like almost like a little more than half the price probably. So, you know, it's really going to come down to whatever you want. There's nothing wrong with it. If you like the US one, get the US one. If you're a fan of the show, the one for me, I'm a big fan of the show, so I prefer the Takara ones. Although I'm seeing them in the store, I've also felt the same as you. I've been very tempted myself, just because I want to play with them and I want to have them. But once I got my Takara versions, I was actually very happy that I waited. But that's just me. So if the Takara versions seem to go for more the anime accurate look, while the Hasbro seems to either go for more IDW or toy accurate, the original toy accuracy. So it's all just going to come down to what you prefer. All right, hope that answered your question. Rick, Don, anything else you can share, or that's it?
Number one, thanks for cutting me off, you son of a bitch.
All right.
Yeah.
Let Rick Don wants to share something about it.
I'm not saying shit, man. Screw this guy and his Transformers. We're moving on to the next question.
Next question.
I dream of SHF Harry Potter. Do you think
well,
it will ever
that's
happen?
That's all Rick Dom.
Do you think it will ever happen? I'll tell you this. It was on the list for the Tamashii Nations.
Was it?
Last
survey?
year. Last year.
Was it on the survey? I don't remember. Was it on the survey?
It was not this year. Last
year.
Oh,
it wasn't this year. Okay, last year.
2015, it was on there. So they're obviously thinking of it. It's not an impossible, some crazy idea. They've obviously thought of it because it was on the list on 2015. So I mean, it's possible. I don't see a direction in that right now, but it's definitely possible. You know, that Star Ace stuff is super popular. People are absolutely obsessed with the Star Ace stuff. So you know, it's definitely in their minds, and it's possible. So.
All right. I don't know much, but the fact that it's in that survey means that at some level it was considered. So definitely, you know, take that as however you will, but that does mean that on some level it was considered if it was in the survey. So
yeah, I think it's really hard for either of us, being in the fact that we don't work with the company itself, but we can absolutely tell you that it's a possibility. We don't how likely it is, I don't know, but it's a total possibility, and it's in their minds. It was there last year. So you know, it's there. You know, so was Back to the Future, which is, you know, I went back to the booth and I voted like 7 times for Back to the Future, and I made anyone that I saw vote for Back to the Future. So there's cool stuff. You know, it's a total possibility. I just don't know how much of a possibility it actually is.
Man, Rick, that's just cheating, man. Anyways, next question.
Yeah. So all my friends at Comic-Con, be prepared for me to force you to approve the things that I want on their survey. Next question. Do you all think Tamashii is going to have some new TMNT and WWE figures on show at New York Comic-Con this year?
Take it away.
As far as WWE goes, I really don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know if anybody has noticed. If you ordered through Big Bad Toy Store, you didn't notice, because Big Bad Toy Store is notoriously known for never updating shipping times until like the very last minute that you were supposed to get something. And when you go on Amazon right now, if you pre-ordered your WWE figures on Amazon, I'm sure you noticed that it said that the release dates were originally November and October, for Stone Cold and for The Rock. But when you go on Amazon right now, it's just February. So that's a pretty huge jump. They now say February and December for the two. So that's a pretty big jump. So I don't know what's delaying it. You know, maybe they had some unforeseen problem with them, or maybe they want to fix something. You know, obviously more time is not a bad thing, although some people do consider you know, when things take longer, it's a bad sign, but it's really not. You know, they could be fixing something, or, you know, you never really know. I severely hope they'll have something new for WWE at Comic-Con, at New York Comic-Con, but I don't really know. TMNT, I can almost just guarantee there'll be something new there. It seems like they're really pushing this TMNT line. You know, we saw the Shredder and stuff like that at Comic-Con, and and you know, last year the legendary reveal there was the TMNT line in general. It seems like, you know, no coincidence. You know, they like to push reveals for that line at New York. So I'm sure something will be there new for TMNT. As far as WWE goes, I don't know. You know, we saw Stone Cold, The Rock, and we saw Triple H at Comic-Con. So, you know, let's hope we do. Let's hope we do, because it's honestly like it's honestly this character selection. I don't really get it, aside from the first two. Like, I don't know why the third one was Triple H. So I'm very interested to see what's next, what the fourth figure will be, or the fifth figure will be, so I can get some kind of grasp on why they pick certain wrestlers, aside from those first two, who are obviously like the biggest wrestlers of all time, aside from somebody like Hulk Hogan, you know. So let's hope there'll be something for WWE. I'm pretty sure there'll be something for TMNT, if I was a betting man.
I don't have much comment, only because I'm not really I'm not really into any of those lines, but though New York Comic Con and SDCC are normally the two cons where they usually try to go. The reviews they have there are usually geared more towards the Western audience. So seeing as those are both lines which are geared towards the Western audience, I wouldn't be surprised either if we see some new figures or at least some new information or something of those figures. And now that the Turtles are actually out, they are out, right? The Turtles, they are out, right? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so some of them are out. Yeah, Donatello is going to be at New York. So
was it Raphael or Donatello? That was Raphael.
Oh, Raphael.
The red one, right?
Yeah.
So now that the figures are out, they probably have a better grasp of how well the line is doing now that they're actually out and the reception on it. So if they have any future plans or they're planning to do the line or they're planning to even go forward with the line, we will probably know now. Probably. So that's what I'm guessing. Anyways, hope that answered your question. Rick, down next question.
All right, on to the next question. It says, I've been seeing pics of that new Cell model kit, and I think it, okay, it's worded kind of weird. Been seeing pics of the new Cell model kit, and it's like way bigger than the SHF, but Gohan is the same size as the SHF one. Which sizing is more accurate? You could take it away on this one, KO.
The SHF line has always been kind of on the smaller side. And I've always felt that Cell was actually too small, only because he's only a little bit taller than than Goku and stuff like that. He's actually quite a bit taller. The size comparison with Goku, in general, with Gohan, is, if you consider Gohan as accurately scaled, the other figures in SHF are actually a little bit too small. Again, Cell is too small. The size of the model kit, the difference between the model kit to the SHF / model kit of Gohan is actually the correct size difference. So yes, he is too small. But in some interpretations, they do make him a little bit smaller. Some companies like to make figures smaller to kind of keep down on cost and stuff like that. I mean, they kind of just, it's kind of like what I consider, it's kind of like they're kind of fudging the scale. Like you have like like it's kind of like when you say a guy is 6 or 7 feet tall, it's like the smaller size of the guy is 6 feet tall, but then you could also be 7 feet tall. So I think it's kind of the arbitrary thing where they kind of, say, hey, you know what? Let's size it towards this direction. SHF always sizes things towards a smaller size, while, the model kits, since they work with a different staff, and there's the staff that work with the model kits, I'm sure, are also better at scaling things than, say, an action figure staff is. I mean, perfect example is the Darth Vader. The SHF one's he's way too small. So that's a perfect example right there. I mean, he's still bigger than Luke, but he's not big enough. Luke is actually the perfect size, but Darth Vader is actually too small. So it's same kind of comparison, So take it as you will. I know some people are going to try to mix and match or whatever. Again, that's really up to you. The aesthetic of the model kits are actually a little bit different than SHF, so some people might see some conflict, but I mean, it's really just going to depend on you. So, but yes, I think the model kit scale is actually better, more accurate, in my opinion, than the SHF is. That's just my personal opinion. SHF has always been scaled more towards the smaller side of things for the most part. So. Rick, Don?
Yeah, pretty much everything he said. That's just SHF has just always been smaller. And I don't know. You think it's too small. Although I do think that Cell is the SHF is too small. You can mix and match whatever you want. You like this model kit version, which is very nice. Final product pictures were very, very, very good looking. With some paint that you're gonna have to do. It could be a great piece, and if you put it next to your SHF, I doubt anybody would give you a shit for it.
All right. Hope that answered your question. Next question
is, what do you all think of mint in box collectors? Perish the thought.
Oh, mint and box collectors. Do you want to go first? Or want me to go first?
Yeah, personally, I don't give a damn what anybody else does with their own figures. But I mean, I have some figures that I leave mint in the box, just because I don't. They're either like nostalgic or I have multiples or something like that. I just don't personally care what people do with their own figures. I only care about what I do with my figures.
Yeah, I pretty much concur. For the most part, I don't really care what other people do with their figures either. The big thing about mint and box collectors in this day and age, it's very tough to be a mint and box collector. I mean, the toys are so complicated. There could be so much wrong. There could be something wrong with your figure, and there's something wrong with your figure could be bad, especially with a lot of high-end stuff. Things could be broken. I personally actually just had a high-end piece break on me recently, and I'm kind of working on getting a return. And trust me, it's kind of a shitty feeling when you're in a situation where, you know, you buy a toy, and if you're a busy guy, you may not get around to opening it right away. But let's say you don't open it for like 2-3 weeks after your 7 to 10 days warranty runs out. Next thing you know, it's broken. What are you gonna do? Mint and box collectors, I think, is often, in my opinion, if you collect stuff that's like really simple, stuff like Hot Wheels and stuff like that, I think it's cool. You know, leave it in the package, whatever, it doesn't matter. You collect pops, you know, leave them in the box, you know, no big deal. But if you collect stuff like Hot Toys, you collect statues and stuff like that, and you collect like stuff from Sentinel, SHF, Figma, it's almost kind of a waste to leave it in the box, to be honest. I mean, the toys, there's so much artistry put into it. There's so much, you know, stuff about the toy that's, you know, made to be played with, it's made to be enjoyed, the experience. So I really think it's a waste if you just leave in the box and never do anything with it. That's just my personal opinion. Of course, you know, you're always welcome to do whatever you want to do. I mean, stuff like that, like Hot Toys, like your Figmas, anything in the mid to high end range, stuff that's not very simple, that have a lot of, you know, that's kind of designed to be played with, comes with a ton of option parts, you know, display stands, and a lot of stuff that make it to interact with other figures. Same thing with statues, man. I mean, why don't you take it out? I mean, the statue meant to be a great display piece. You'll enjoy it. There's no reason to leave it in the box, you know? I mean, I understand you don't have the space, you don't have the time, then cycle your collection, you know, display it, and then change the display up, you know, gives you something to do. I mean, again, it's just because, like I said, the stuff has so much artistry in it, there's so much work and love put into these pieces, almost kind of a waste to just leave it in there, not really do what was intended to do with them. So that's my opinion. Hope that answered your question. And, you know, that's my thoughts. So anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
Something else you wanted to add?
Definitely agree. You know, and at the end of the day, you know, I do see why people get annoyed, you know, that people do the mint and box thing. You know, you kind of you know, no offense to anyone, but you kind of wish that you had the funds that they do to be able to afford to have something mint and box. But just me personally, I just don't care enough about other people's wishes for their own personal stuff. You know, we all have different opinions and different views on collecting, so I don't mind it. But just personally, I very rarely do mint and box. So just me personally. And you know, who can ever forget that? I'm sure KO remembers the legendary guy on the 1/6 community who like collected all of his Hot Toys and had the mint and box, and then when he opened some of them, like some of them were breaking, and it took so long that it didn't mean anything. So the figures were just pretty much ruined. So
yeah, I mean, it's always the fear, you know. Like I said, you could buy it and then you store it away, and then you don't really touch it for years. And next thing you know, maybe you're like, oh man, I'll get around to opening it or whatever. And next thing, hey man, oh shit, the figure's broken or something was missing, and you're like 2 years later, there's nothing you can do about it. So it's always not a smart thing to do. Another thing is also even beyond that, it's just you know, the thing that baffles me the most are guys that collect stuff like Hot Toys and statues, and they don't want the mailer to be open. Like you could literally carefully like scam these people by basically putting rocks or something heavy inside the box, because they're never going to open the mailer anyway. They'll never fucking know. So, you know, these guys, like, you know, I do know a guy that was like that, and apparently started opening stuff and found out that, you know, he got a couple of shoe boxes and stuff like that. He didn't actually have the real some guy scammed him because he knew that, you know, he wasn't opening the mailers. He was just leaving them as is. That was years later. So, you know, he was kind of dicked over. So, yeah. And it's just not the age for that. Again, everything's so nice now. Everything is so much artistry put into it. There's no reason why you wouldn't want to enjoy it. You know, if you just want to throw your money at something as an investment or whatever, there's other things to do besides toys that are probably more lucrative. So, anyways, next question.
All right, let's go on to the next question. Is Bandai ever going to do the figure of Godzilla fused with EVA 01? We've been seeing pictures of it.
All right. We've had Godzilla like colored EVA 01s. But if you're talking about that Godzilla Evangelion EVA 01 fusion, I'm just gonna pull up a picture. Hold on. Let's see if I can pull up a picture. Let's see. I believe it's here. I think my friend has it as a icon right now. This picture, right? I'm assuming you're talking about this picture. I don't know, to be honest. It would be cool. Fans would like it. It's a cool picture. I mean, it's been floating around. A lot of people you're not the first person to ask about an action figure of it. It does look cool. As far as getting it, I have really no idea, to be honest with you. I mean, we might not. I don't know.
Yeah, so, I can't say much more than that either.
I'm not even sure how official this picture is. I'm actually unsure if you ask me. So I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I don't even know if it's even official. So, but if that's what you're talking about, I really don't know. It's cool though. Hope to answer your question. Rick, Dom, do you have any thoughts?
There's no info that I have that you wouldn't. You know, we don't know anything, but you know, hopefully it does at some point. It's very cool.
All right. So next question.
On to the next question. I think statues look nice, but I've always been more of an articulated collector. I've always been looking at a lot of statues, and they look really nice, and I've been thinking about buying some, but not sure where to start. You guys got any ideas? That's a very difficult question without any specifics.
Yeah, I think the number one question you should ask yourself is how much you want to spend and what stuff you like. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, I would say probably the best thing to start with is like the prize figures. A lot of them are pretty nice looking, and also, you know, they're reasonably priced and they look nice. So don't want to spend a lot of money. Prize figures, if depending on what you like, again, that's such a broad question. It really just depends on what you like. I mean, even in the non-prize figure stuff, you know, you have stuff like the Art FX Plus stuff, which is also very reasonably priced at like 40 something, $50. You have the Bishoujo line from Kotobukiya, which are, you know, also nice looking figures, and those aren't too expensive either. But then if you want to start getting into like your Max Factory, your Good Smile, stuff like that, you're looking at everything over $100 or like almost $100. So it's really just going to depend on how much money you want to spend and what you like. So yeah.
Yeah, if you really want to and you want to go more in depth with this, you know, please send us another message with what kind of series of figures that are articulated you collect and what statue series interests you, and we can, you know, give you a better answer.
Yeah, I mean, stuff like size and stuff is important too. So I mean, maybe if you like them to be a little smaller, Figure Art Zero, Fix are also pretty good as well. And the great thing about those is they can kind of interact with your SHF and your Figmas and stuff like that, especially Fix. I mean, Fix, the option parts like the heads and the faces are actually compatible with the Figmas. So you know, that's a good place to start right there. But if you're looking for something bigger, then yeah, like I said, the Art FX Plus, some of the prize figures and stuff like that are good places to start if you're not looking to spend a ton of money. So you can get a pretty nice figure, prize figure, like a pretty nice one that looks pretty damn good for like $20, $15, $20, you know. So, but if you're looking more expensive, then yeah, I mean, that really does depend on what you like.
Yeah, like I said, come back, ask us again. with more detail, and we can I discuss it, I suppose. Obviously we can't make the decisions for you, but we could give you our opinions and discuss a little more when you have a little more detail in.
All right, next question.
The next question. The question. I love the Kamen Rider Shinkocho Seiho line, but I really want to see other licenses being done in this style. Do you see that happening one day? Like maybe Dragon Ball?
The thing about the Shinkocho Seiho line, and just SHF in general, Shinkocho Seiho line is, I guess, the top of the line SHF line. It has nice packaging. It has the Figma little frame for the hands and stuff like that. It's a very nice presentation, and they usually use like what I consider more or less the top level design techniques for the SHF line. The only thing is, I don't think there's a huge difference between Shinkocho Seiho and the regular stuff. There's a difference, but not a huge difference.
Yeah, and honestly, if you compare it to stuff like the new Trunks, the new Vegeta, Awakening Goku, it's comparable. Obviously, you look at the older stuff, it may not be, but that new stuff, it's comparable.
I mean, the only thing that the Shinkocho Seiho line has, like, as far as like if you look at the new Trunks and new Vegeta, a lot of those joints they were first used on the Shinkocho Seiho, so that was kind of like almost like the prototype testing ground for advancing their articulation. So yeah, I mean, for the most part, I mean, I could see them doing other licenses. I don't know about particularly Dragon Ball. Just because they're already kind of pseudo relaunching the line right now. We're kind of like in the second phase of the line, which kind of started with Awakening Son Goku, Super Saiyan Son Goku, and we're in the second phase of the line now. And I mean, those figures are pretty good, and I mean, I really don't. I guess you'd have to be more specific. I mean, as far as the nicer packaging, the Shinkocho Seiho, they have that very Hot Toys kind of like. Shoebox kind of, model kit box packaging, which is really nice. It has a very high end feeling to it.
Yeah, it would have to be like, if anything, we're gonna continue on in this style. At least in my opinion, it would have to be stuff like Sentai. Like something.
Yeah, maybe Sentai, maybe something else. Who knows? I mean, Dragon Ball is definitely the best-selling thing, and I could see Dragon Ball being done maybe at some point. The only problem again is Dragon Ball is kind of being relaunched right now, like we're in the second phase of the line right now, and it kind of just started. So I just don't really see them kind of also offering an alternative line. They kind of want to concentrate on their own line. As far as right now, I would say Kamen Rider is probably the only license that will be done in Shinkocho Seiho, if I had to guess. But definitely this could be a question I can ask at New York Comic Con for you guys. So be on the lookout. Hope to have your question.
Yeah. On to the next one. I know we've talked about core and Androids. In fact, one just went up, and Figmas. But do you guys think that Korra Real Action Heroes can happen? I see other stuff that GSC does in Real Action Heroes, and I think it would be awesome.
First off, the Real Action Heroes line is actually made by Medicom. However, you're not incorrect in the sense that GSC does collaborate with Medicom when it comes to the Real Action Heroes line. So all the stuff like Madoka, the Fate stuff, a lot of those are actually joint productions with GSC and Medicom. So in regards to your question, I would say let's try to get the Figma first before we talk about RAH. So that's just my opinion. I mean, Figma hasn't even happened yet. It's awesome that we have the Korra has such enthusiastic fans, and you guys want to see the high end stuff, and I think it's a possibility, of course, as long as the demand is there. Maybe it's something that we can bring up. We can, or you guys can go on GSC and mention it in the future. I mean, while they're not Medicom exactly, they do actually collaborate. Like I said, all those Madoka Medicoms they've done, the Fate Stay Night, Fate Zero, those are all joint productions with GSC.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, you guys want a real action heroes Korra? You guys want a real action? You guys want a Figma Korra? For the love of God, buy the Nendoroid. You know, I have a friend uh, who really wants a Figma, and he's a local guy, and I think his sisters collect Nendoroid, but he's not much of a Nendoroid collector. And I told him, like, you're just gonna have to buy one, give it to your sister or something, because if you don't support the Nendoroid, then you know what kind of strength do they see in this property? You know, when you don't buy something that's like $30, $40, you know, that they it doesn't bode too well for getting a Figma. So you guys want one, buy one, and support this series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's pretty much what you're going to have to do if you want to. You guys want to see it. Just put it out there that you guys want it. Again, we can't never stress it enough. And you know, guys, I'm sure you guys are tired of us saying it, but that's really what it comes down to. And again, like I said, anything is a possibility. I've seen Medicom tackle stuff that I never thought they would ever tackle. So it's not to say that it's beyond the realm of possibility. Nothing's impossible. At one time, if you told someone, you know, Nendroid Korra was ever going to happen, they'd laugh at you in the face and look what's happening. So I mean, it shows that it's possible. And but like I said, let's try to get a Figma before we start talking about our age. You know, maybe after our Figma comes out and that does really well, so, okay, you know, maybe we can do real action heroes now. You know, so definitely would be cool. So. Yeah. Anyway, hope that answered the question. Rick,
show support.
Any more thoughts?
Show support, buy the Nendoroid, and then we'll get more. I myself am buying 2 Nendoroid Korras to show the utmost support, one in Japan, one in the US. You don't have to do that, but if you want a Figma, buy the Nendo. All right. The next question. I'm very happy with my Marvel Legends Black Panther. Do you guys think I should still get the SHF one?
You want to do first, or you want me to go first?
I'll be very quick. Okay. If you have the money, sure, because no offense to Marvel Legends, but there's pretty much no way the Marvel Legends one is in any facet going to be better than the SHF one. You know, there's just no way the Marvel Legend is going to stack up. So if you want the better version, there is no question. I don't even have to have them both in hand to compare. There is no question. There's no arguing that the SHF is better in pretty much every single way possible. So if you really care about having the best one, then definitely get the SHF. If you really don't care and you're happy with your Marvel Legends like you put, then who cares? Just skip it. You don't want to pay that money, you're happy with what you have, then that's fine. But if you want the best version of that character from that film in that sort of 1/12th scale, then that's it. You know, SHF is it. At least for the moment.
Yeah, I think it really is just going to come down to that. If you want to drop the money, I mean, let's be honest. To get yourself a SHF Black Panther, you're going to be shelling out like $75, $80 at the very least, right? So shipped, and you can get a Marvel Legends Black Panther. You probably get one for like $20, $25. You know, maybe a little bit more if you can't find it in your area. You have to buy it like on eBay or Facebook or whatever. It's really just going to come down to you're really happy with that figure, you already have it, and you're like, hey, you know what, I don't need anything else, and you know, just stick with that. But it is the reality that being that one is a low-end figure, one is a high-end figure, at the end of the day, the high-end figure is going to win. It's going to be better. It's just whether you want to spend the money, and that's really what it's going to come down to at the end of the day. And then, you know, you are happy with your Marvel Legends one, and you don't think that the difference is going to be big enough, then you just stick with the Marvel Legends one. I mean, or you can just go ahead and buy the SHF one and then see how you feel when you play with it. And I'm sure if you figure out quickly that you don't feel it's worth it, you'll probably have no issue offloading it in the beginning. Of course, the longer you wait, the more people get it, the less people want it, because
and the higher possibility of somebody else making their own version in that scale.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, it's going to really just come down to that. I mean, if you're happy with it, you know, with your Marvel Legends one, which the Marvel Legends one's not a bad figure. It's a nice figure for $20. But it's not going to be better than the SHF one. Let's just get that out the way. It's not going to be better than that. Now the question is just simply the price ratio. Do you feel it's, obviously the problem with Black Panther is he's also an exclusive, so he's going to cost more. And once you factor all those in, and then, Black Panther is actually pretty expensive, that's really going to depend on that. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yep.
Next question.
Fantastic. How do you guys feel about the Mafex line? Do y'all collect it?
I've actually only bought like maybe a couple of Mafex figures. I mean, they're pretty good. I would be more interested if they did anime characters more so than the live action stuff. That's just me. So I don't really collect it per se. Like I don't buy every one that comes out, but I mean the figures look nice. It just seems to be people seem to be plagued with QC problems and breakage issues on some of them. But the ones I've had, I guess the only problem I've had with some of the ones I've had, Spider-Man, I've had Batman, and I guess the biggest issue for me was just some of the parts would just pop off really easily. There was no breakage issue, but they were just kind of loose and parts would pop off pretty easily. So that was pretty much my main issue with them. As far as the skull, then the detail was pretty good though. So Rick Dom actually buys more of them, so I mean he would probably have a better grasp of answering your question.
Yeah, I love the line. I mean, I don't collect. It's like I swear I don't do it on purpose, but I've never bought any of the Mafex that are prone to breaking, except Meliodas, and he didn't break on me. But I know some people have had a breakage problem with him. But like Superman and Batman and the previous Batman and the Spider-Man, I just never bought those. So I mean, I guess it was luck of the draw that I didn't. But I've had a great experience with them, and I hope it continues, and I hope they don't let me down because, to this day, I think, just my opinion, I don't think that any other Darth Vader is as good as the Mafex one, not even the SHF. I mean, movement-wise, I guess the SHF is a smaller upper hand, but I've compared them both in hand, and I just don't think SHF has it over Mafex for as far as Darth Vader goes. So I like the Mafex line. I'm going to keep supporting them and hope that their quality keeps going up, and that they keep finding a way to solve these problems. It seems like they were replacing Supermans and Batmans when they were breaking. It seems like they were, so not a big deal. I know a friend of mine, Anthony's Customs, he had his Meliodas break on him, and his Meliodas was replaced too. Well, at least the piece that was broken was replaced for him too. So at least they're good on that front, just like DC Collectibles. DC Collectibles breaks, their animated stuff, and I don't think I've seen any icons break, but even when they do, they're more than happy to replace for you. So that's always good too. It's obviously much more ideal to not have a break, but it's nice to know that you have that cushion of them willing to help you and stand by their product.
Yeah, I think as long as I buy a lot of other stuff from Medicom, and Medicom normally they have a bit of a fee, like not a fee that you have to pay for the part, but you have to pay for the shipping. And I've done that. It's a little bit pricey, but in some ways it is probably better than just buying the thing straight out again. So it's not terrible, but I mean, for the most part, I'm generally pretty happy with their products. Again, the Mafex stuff is not really something I really touch much of, so I don't really know. I have a few figures, but not a ton. And yeah, I mean they're they look really good in my opinion. And yeah, that's really all I can really say. So hopefully if they do other stuff in the future, which I'm more interested in, like I said, mostly if they did like anime figures, I'd probably be more interested than what it seems like the Mafex line is primarily geared towards the Western fans. So
yeah, that definitely feels like that.
More Japanese stuff, I would probably be more interested in. So, anyways, hope to answer your question.
All right. SHF Thanos win.
Go ahead. What do you think?
Tell you this, I have no idea when, but I'll tell you.
I think probably Infinity War.
Yeah, somewhere along that time. But I'll tell you this, at least in my opinion, I'm not saying it's some sort of certainty, but if you ask my personal opinion, it's coming. So, you know, in my opinion, there's pretty much no possible way it's not coming. So.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think we're gonna get one eventually. My only fear is he's gonna be too small.
Oh God, that damn.
My only fear is he might be too small. But aside from that, I think we're definitely gonna get him. I think so.
So far, they are 0 for 1 on villains because that Ultron to me is terrible. I hate that Ultron.
Yeah, it's odd that they haven't done a Loki yet, but maybe for Dark World.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'd be interested to see them do a Loki.
Yeah, Loki they'll probably do for Ragnarok. That'd be a good chance for them to redo Thor too.
Oh yeah, they definitely need to redo Thor.
Like the least popular, one of the least popular Avengers in Japan, but it's okay. So.
Yeah, he doesn't have the popularity over there. Like
I mean, essentially, he's also the least popular, I guess. Would he be considered the least popular here too for the main 4?
Yeah,
the least popular here too, right? So
for the main 4, yeah.
Just speaking for the main 4.
Yeah, definitely.
So, anyways, hopefully that answered your question. Yeah, I think one is coming. It's gonna come eventually, but I don't know when. If I had to guess, not to bet money, I would assume Infinity War. But we'll just have to see. I mean, because that's when we'll actually have them in fight scenes and stuff like that, and so I'm assuming Infinity War is when we're gonna have them. And then if he does really well, maybe they'll backtrack and do a Guardians of the Galaxy 1 version and stuff like that before he had the gauntlet and stuff. So it's a possibility. All right, next question.
Next question: are they ever going to bring back the Hunter x Hunter Figmas?
Well, there's no anime right now, and we're probably not going to get any anime for a while. So if you had to ask me, I'd probably say slim chance for now.
Yeah, so, not in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, not in the foreseeable future. That's if you had to ask me, that'd be my guess. So, hope that answered your question. Just because right now there's no anime, there's nothing for it, and the anime ended on the last major storyline, and the new storyline that started after that storyline has kind of just barely even started. So you're looking at years before we might get another anime. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even the manga spotty, like, it's just
comes out really slow. Yeah.
Yeah, just right now for Hunter x Hunter, it's no fun.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for giving such a depressing answer. Love the 3-0 Berserk stuff. Those real action hero Berserk figures are too sick. What are your guys' thoughts on them? Do you all prefer one or the other?
I'll go first. The 3-0 stuff's detail is better than the Metacom stuff. I think the Metacom stuff, in my opinion, matches the Miura's art style more. It looks like the Metacom will probably be better articulated just because it doesn't have the seamless body. Beyond that, if you were to ask me now which one you should buy, I would probably lean more towards the 3-0 version, only because they look like they're actually going to have a line, and the Metacom one has only just done the 2 guts. Or you could mix and match them. I mean, the Skull Knight and the Metacom guts could probably work together pretty well also. So it really just depends on what you like. I haven't had a chance to play with the 3-0 guts. I know they've made a lot of improvements from the initial prototype, which is good. And it looks really good. And we're getting the Skull Knight as well, and we're also going to get Berserker armor, which I assume Metacom will also do eventually as well. So it's really just going to come down to what you want to drop your money on. I think economically speaking, because 3-0 has a stronger distribution in the States, the 3-0 stuff's probably actually cheaper than the Metacom stuff, at least initially. The Metacom stuff can be pretty expensive. I think the retail price for their guts is actually more than the 3-0 guts. So, but of course, Metacom stuff does have a lot of it tends to have a habit of bargain binning. I don't think the guts bargain bin for very long though. So that's a risk that you'd be willing to take if you wanted to get that version. But the 301, they do look really good. I think those don't look as accurate. The sculpting style is not as accurate to the art style of Miura. They look a little more general. I mean, you could tell it's guts, but they look kind of, I don't know how to describe it. They look very just your standard, generic, highly detailed anime head sculpt, you know, kind of like that. You know, what Medicom is really great at doing is they really can capture the art styles really well, like down to a T. But I don't think the 3.0, they have kind of like Hot Toys. You know, they have this Hot Toys look to them, which you know, kind of like when you look at the Resident Evil Hot Toys figures, they don't look perfect to the CG model. You know, they look something like you can tell that's the character, but there's just something about it. They add this realism to it that kind of cancels out the art style. If that makes any sense, I don't know how to describe it, but that's kind of how I feel with their guts. Don't get me wrong; it's an incredible figure, at least from looks and then from the pictures I've seen. I should have mine pretty soon whenever the U.S. stock is released, which you know, is not out yet, but I mean, hopefully soon. So I mean, maybe we can talk about it some more when I have them both in hand. Rick Dom?
I think they both have their place. You know, I have the Medicom ones, and I'm probably gonna end up ordering the 3.0 stuff, and definitely the Skull Knight. I mean, but as far as Guts himself, I may as well just get him if I'm gonna get Skull Knight. I think they both have their place, and I like what they've all done so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're good figures, and you know, it really just depends. I know the big complaint about the Medicom one is that the knives on his chest are not functional. Like, you can't pull them out of the pouch. It's all just one molded piece. I know a lot of people are disappointed about that. But I mean, it really just depends on, you know, how adamant you are about those type of issues. So yeah, it's going to come down to that. So hope that answered your question. I guess next question. You got nothing else to say? Next question.
Next question. All right. I hear a lot of folks arguing about Figma and Figuarts. Some people say pretty harsh stuff like Figma sucks and is trash. Is there a reason for this? Or are these dudes just dick riding Figuarts? Because I really like both. What you all got to say about this?
You want to start?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, you know, Dragon Ball just divides people. I don't really know. People have this like notion that Figmas break, but I have at least, you know, I have at least like 100 Figmas. I've never broken one, so. And the only time that I broke one was because I was an idiot and I dropped one from a 2-story building. So I don't really consider that Max Factory's fault. So I don't really know what this divide is about. I've seen people like criticize Figma before. I don't really know why. You know, I don't get it. I guess people just want to pick sides for whatever reason. I love them both equally. I have more Figma than Figuarts, but you know, I love them both just as equally.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough topic, and it's a common topic among like a lot of action figure groups. Figmas generally tend to not have they generally don't have the range of articulation is usually not as extensive as an SHF. Again, I've always said that SHF don't necessarily always prioritize the look. Sometimes I think Max Factory prioritize the body line. So their figures, I think, ultimately they look better. Like, I think Figma figures in general, speaking particularly, you know, speaking the anime stuff, I mean, everyone's going to bring up the Bruce Lee. Before anyone brings up the Bruce Lee, not talking about the Bruce Lee in particular, just speaking in general. I think Figma figures are generally, they're more, the flow of the sculpt and the marriage of the sculpt and the articulation, I think, is better than SHF most of the time. just in general, that's just how I feel. I mean, there are exceptions. I mean, SHF, there are times SHF has done a better job. I mean, the Shinto Seiho stuff, I think, is really great. The problem is Bandai has a comfort zone that they work very well with, which is generally the Kamen Rider, the Tokusatsu stuff, which they do a very good job. And obviously the Dragon Ball stuff, they've come to be very good at that too. I don't think they're as good at doing certain things as Max Factory is as good at doing the Figma stuff. And just in general, if we're just speaking as a line overall, I think the Figma stuff is more organic looking. Like I said, the marriage of the sculpt and the articulation, as far as hiding the joints and stuff, I think they do a better job. Again, Bandai seems to focus more on the playability aspect. They seem to favor that more than necessarily the look. So sometimes their figures, the joints aren't as nice looking. They don't look as good.
Yeah, like let's be perfectly honest. Almost all of the DBZ figures' knees are terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But I still like the figures nonetheless.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, the companies just seem to have a different philosophy as to how their action figures are made. Like I said, just going by the big three, the Revoltech stuff seems to focus mostly on the dynamic aspect. So their figures are sculpted and designed to do dynamic poses and to look dynamic and to look like they're in movement all the time, like they're in mid-movement. The Figma stuff and the Figma seems to focus a lot on the proportions, the body line, the seamlessness of the look of the character, but then have in my opinion, pretty great articulation overall. Again, probably not as good as SHF because SHF seems to focus on the playability aspect. The way they engineer their stuff leans more towards movement.
Yeah, I mean the uniformity of you take a Figma apart, the joint looks exactly the same in every place that it moves.
Yeah. It's never obtrusive or anything like that. It usually is always very seamless. So, it really just depends on, I mean, I can understand SHF person probably really valuing the articulation. A lot of the time I've seen guys they reveal Figma figures, and they say, oh, the movement here is no good, or you can't look up all the way, stuff like that. I guess, obviously, if you're really picky about that kind of stuff, then obviously maybe a Figma figure would not be ideal. Because, again, they don't seem to necessarily focus. I mean, sometimes to get that movement in the neck, you have to have, the joint has to show a little bit more. You have to have a big hinge in the back of the neck. There's just little things that you would have to do to make it so that it moves a certain way. I think in all honesty, I think Max Factor actually does a really great job. I don't think the articulation is bad by any means. Again, not as good as SHF probably overall speaking, but I think it balances out. Again, I think the Figma stuff in general, it's just the seamlessness is better than overall than the SHF. That's just my personal opinion. Overall, I mean, again, there are cases, obviously, the Bruce Lee, which in my opinion, a lot of the reason why a lot of the live action Bandai stuff looks so good now is because they have that digital printing for the faces. I think if they didn't have the digital printing, I think it would be considered more, more even though the body of the Figma Bruce Lee is more cartoony, more anime looking versus the SHF one as well. So, I mean, it really just depends. I mean, we can go on all day about this, pointing out why this is better and why that's better, but ultimately it just comes out as long as you're happy with it, you think it's fine, then it should be okay. I mean, personally speaking, I love them both equally as well. I mean, I collect a lot of SHF, I collect a lot of Figma. And, I mean, personally, I don't really see a big issue. I mean, there's comparisons. There are sometimes when both companies do a certain character, I actually consider one's better than the other. And then sometimes I consider the other company better. Sometimes I think Bandai is better, sometimes I think Figma one is better. It just really depends. So, Rick, Dom, you have anything else you want to share?
Yeah, they both have their strong suits, and I think they both do enough different licenses to where there's great space for each.
All right then. Well, I guess we can move on to the next question. Hope that answered you.
All right. On to the next question. And the last question from the ones that were emailed, and then we'll take down all the ones here on YouTube, and then we'll finish it off. So are we getting Pokemon trainers, Figuarts or Figma, or what, when they come in? I don't know why you're asking about Figuarts, because I don't know where the hell that came from. Figma, I hope so. The Nendoroid line is super popular. I'm sure you noticed they keep pumping out Nendoroids and charging like $100 for them, and people buy them up like it's nobody's business. So I hope they make Figmas. But I don't know what you're talking about with Figuarts. I don't know. I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, I think Max Good Smile is aware of the popularity of having Pokemon trainer Figmas. You know, one characters like Red and what's that other that Gothic girl's name? What's her name again?
What are you talking about?
The Gothic girl, the Goth lowly girl.
I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. Goth lowly girl. I don't know who that is.
That trainer, they did an android of the blonde girl.
Yeah, she's not a lowly, man. That woman's like an adult.
Oh, well, she's wearing a Gothic Lolita outfit. That's why I say. Gothic Lolita. I don't know the design like you guys do. This is just from a glance from what I remember in my mind.
Yeah, I just personally I wouldn't call it Lolita.
Okay, well, whatever. The chick that's wearing the dress, the blonde chick.
Yeah. I was thinking to myself, like, the Gothic Lolita girl. Like, who is he talking about? Her Japanese name is Shirona, but the one with the Garchomp, she comes with the Pokemon and stuff like that, and they're super popular.
Well,
Man.
you know, they want these figures, they want these Figmas, and you know, who knows? I mean, maybe they're coming very soon. You know, you never know. So, you know, again, I hate to keep saying this, but if you really want these figures to come out, you guys know what to do. Instead of complaining on the message board, whatever, go on their page and start getting the people together. You complain to them that they don't exist.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, this is the one time when I can tell everybody that wants Pokemon Figmas, you actually don't need to buy the Nendoroids to show support anymore, because they sell out immediately every fucking time. Buying the Nendoroids or not buying them at this point is not going to change anything, because they sell like hotcakes immediately every freaking time. So now all you need to do is go to their fucking Facebook and just berate them and hound them and tell them that you want the Figmas.
Yeah, that's it. And that's all you need to do, man. There's nothing else to it. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. So, yeah. Hope that answered your question. And yeah, but I mean, maybe there's good news coming. So, you know, keep a lookout, and you know, make sure you let them know that that's what you want to see.
Yeah, now on to the YouTube questions.
All right, keep asking questions, guys. You guys got them, man. Just ask them, and we'll answer them. So.
All right, I'll go down right now. Johnny is asking, do you have a guess to when Drifter's SAS may go up?
I think it probably will happen before the end of the year. Probably. It'll probably happen around the time the anime starts, but actually that's more like next year, so probably early next year.
I thought the anime starts in winter.
I thought it was winter 2017, though, wasn't it?
No,
I don't remember what the
come on,
poster
man.
said.
No, it's pretty soon, the anime. It's this year.
Is it this year? Okay, so it'll probably be early next year then.
Yeah, probably.
The figures will probably be early next year. If it starts this year, like the end of this year, then the figures will probably go for order like January.
Yeah, on my anime list, it's actually, that show is gonna start any time now because it's fall 2016.
Oh, it's not winter; it's a fall season.
Yeah, fall 2016.
It's
so
fall season. Okay, so if it's fall season, then it'll probably happen pretty soon, maybe before the end of the year. I mean, the prototypes already exist, so.
Yeah, maybe get a pre-order, the first pre-order going up in like November or something.
Yeah. I mean, as far as release goes, you're looking at fucking like spring and shit, summer.
I don't know about the release.
As far as pre-order though, probably like you said, you know, November or something.
The next question from ASM Productions is, why do you think we don't get many DBZ villains in the SHF line?
Because villains just traditionally just don't sell as well. But I mean, they are, and the other problem with villains, the other big thing about villains is they all require all new parts. I think that's probably the other thing too. So they're more expensive to make because they're generally more elaborate looking because they're villains. You know, you can only use those parts once. You know, take characters like Cell, for example, or like Majin Buu. You can't really repaint them or, you know, turn them into another figure. While like, you know, a lot of the actual Goku, you can, you know, do other Gokus. You can do Gohans and Yamcha and stuff like that. It's not a big deal. You can, you know, probably reuse some parts. I mean, Bandai doesn't really like to reuse a ton of parts anyway, but, you know, they like to, if they can, you know, that's the reason we got Ultimate Son Gohan, you know, because, you know, it's just Goku with a different head. So, you know, probably a lot of it has to do with that. They're more expensive to produce. And I don't think Bandai, I mean, the thing about Japanese mid-end toys, they don't concentrate on, the budget is per figure and not per assortment, like something like Marvel Legends or things like that. So, I mean, you can theoretically pop out whatever you want, but I guess it really comes down to how much, like, you think you can sell. How much, like, of the line you guys can, you know, move. You know, like,
Yeah,
if the line does really well, then you don't mind doing those more obscure characters, those more, you know, characters that cost more to make because, you know, hey, you know, they're all going to sell. So,
I always tell people that ask about, like, hey, who do you, because, you know, as the guys over at Bandai, they pretty much asked who we want first from Shampa's team, and I just told people, you know, who you're gonna get first is gonna be Frost, so get ready for Frost because that's first, because it's like it's almost completely a retool. I mean, the head is a little bit different, and I think the chest armor is different, but everything else is exactly the same, just color.
yeah, you could probably reuse. I mean, they don't usually, I'll be honest, the SHF line does not reuse a lot of parts. I mean, they do, but they don't reuse a lot. So it's not like Marvel Legends where they have a huge, I guess, like stock of parts that they pull from, like a you know, a basically selection of stuff of parts and bodies and things like that they pull from. That's not.
Yeah. Typically, what they do is just very unique. You know, their designs of characters.
They just a lot of the time, because their budgets allow, they design the figure from the ground up a lot of the time. So as long as they see that the line is doing well, obviously Kamen Rider, they do a ton of villains. Only because that line does so well. I mean, that line does great in Japan, the Kamen Rider line. So it justifies them doing these bad guys. And I'll tell you, these bad guys in Kamen Rider, I mean, they're all unique sculpts. They're all like one-time use sculpts. So, you know, they don't mind making them because they know that they know that the figures will sell. And the line is a very strong line. It's it's the strongest SHF line probably in Asia. The Kamen Rider line. So, you know, that it really just comes down to that. And I think they're realizing that Dragon Ball is just as big, you know, outside of Asia, you know, and even in Asia it's big. So I mean now it's, you know, becoming about Dragon Ball as well, and they're obviously looking into doing more of these. They're definitely gonna be doing more villains and stuff like that, and more one-time use characters like sculpts and stuff. Definitely, they're definitely coming, man. Like I said, they have this line is never going to end. It's going to keep going forever as long as you're willing to buy it. So
yeah, they've told us on video that they have plans for this line for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So everything's coming. Just patience, you know.
Yeah.
The next question is, when you spoke to Bluefin, did they hint at what the next characters would be for the up-and-coming Naruto line?
Past Sakura, which I think is probably the latest one that we've seen. We've talked about some of the bad guys, like Madara and stuff like that. I'm not sure if they're coming, to be honest with you. They didn't really tell me if they were coming or not, but we talked about a few characters. Some names were thrown around. You know, other versions of Naruto and Sasuke, obviously. Obito we talked about. We talked about, you know, other characters, and Neji and Hinata and stuff like that. We talked about them. So it is a possibility that all of those I just mentioned are coming, and they're prototypes for them. But I again, it's not confirmed or anything. So, but we did talk about them, and they seem to obviously acknowledge it. So that's a good sign, if anything.
Yeah. Basically everything that EMIYA said, and when I hounded asking if we would ever get a Boruto, they said it's on the radar, but there's no plan right
I mean,
now.
Boruto is a safe one because he's actually a main character.
Yeah.
So I mean, Boruto, Sarada, they're all probably going to be coming at some point whenever they get around to doing that storyline. Whenever they get around to doing Boruto, they're probably going to be doing those figures, or those will be the first ones that'll be done. But as far as like the Naruto stuff and what they're focusing on now, like I said, that those ones I mentioned before, and we threw some names around. We talked about. They are aware. And again, you guys want to see more Naruto stuff, man. Just make sure you guys are buying the figures. And then we did that. Right now, it's doing decently well, but it can only help you if this figure sell great. And like I said, it's one of those things where you guys can turn this line into the next Dragon Ball if you wanted to, where they do like a ton of fucking characters. So it's up to you guys. I mean, if not even the next Dragon Ball, make it the next Sailor Moon. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
The next question. This is actually a question for me. Is what don't you like about Leto Joker? I think this is Ricardo asking. What don't I like about Leto Joker? That's a long list, man. He's nothing like the Joker at all. He's like some weird gangster guy who is like super in love with Harley Quinn. It's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Anyone that knows the Joker knows that he treats Harley Quinn like a tool and not like she's some person with feelings and somebody that he genuinely loves. He treats her as a convenience and as a tool, as his obedient puppet. She's not ever been depicted in any form that I've ever seen in this light. Even in a kids show where it's very lighthearted, he treats her like dirt. And as abusive as that sounds, that's just what the character is. And for him to be this tattooed, like, pimp, club-owning thug with, like, love for this girl that he's supposed to treat like his shoes, to that level is, I don't like it. It's not Joker.
So essentially, it's like you're saying you're not big on this interpretation.
No, not at all. And the crazy part is, I'm not even a big Joker fan. He's not even in my top 5 Batman villains. But I respect the character and I know what he is. And to me, at least, Jared Leto's Joker is not him. So, anybody can have their own opinion, though. I don't care if people like that Jared Leto Joker. Not a big deal. But I just don't like him. I want nothing to do with the guy.
Well, hope Rick Dom answered your question. Good friend.
All right, the next question from Mr. The Johnnies is asking, what are your expectations for Tamashii Nations, and what do you expect for them at NYCC?
I don't expect too much at NYCC personally. I'm assuming we're probably going to see the Megazord, the Daizujin built up. We'll probably, again, like I said, we'll see Ten Shinhan and Yamcha, from what I understand, they're going to be there. Assuming that they got their licensing thing fixed. Their approval, I mean. Besides that, I assume we'll also see probably a new, new Ninja Turtles, new WWE, probably some new musician figure. I wouldn't be surprised. That type of stuff is what I expect to see at New York Comic Con. But Tamashii Nations, the event at the end of October, that's a different story. I expect to see quite a few new things there. Probably some new Macross stuff. Basically new stuff for pretty much every line that they're doing. So that's what I expect to see there. So not much expectation for New York Comic Con, but I do expect to see some pretty good stuff for Tamashii Nations event for sure.
Yeah, very I expect to see a typical, something You know, the TN and the Yamcha, something from WWE probably, definitely something from TMNT in my opinion. Hopefully the Daijujin transformed, because I don't give a damn about the beast forms, for the love of God. So, you know, I just expect what we get every year, sadly. You know, it's not a bad thing or anything, but I know I'm not going to be wowed by something crazy or something new. And if we are, it's going to be the case of like the TMNT Turtles last year, where you don't really know it or expect it because it's literally brand new. So, yeah. The Nona here asks, what vehicle would you like to see in the Figma line?
Number one, I'd like them to release the Black Rock shooter, the PSP game version, the trike that she had. There's a prototype for it, but they never released it. I was always very saddened that they never released it. I believe it's Black Rock shooter 2035 or something like that. It's like a futuristic Black Rock shooter, and I always wanted that bike. It's never going to come out now. It is completely canceled. Black Rock shooter is not popular anymore, so it makes no sense to release it now. But I would love to see that. If they ever did a Zero Rider, I would love to see his chariot. Of course, again, that probably will never be done because it's probably going to be very expensive. Even if they did Medusa Rider from Fate Stay Night, I'd love to see her like a unicorn. That would be very cool. I don't know if they would ever do that either. Would be cool though. Yeah. Besides that, I can't think of anything else that comes to mind at the moment. I guess for Rick Dom, that Celti's motorcycle would be cool.
Can we get out?
Yeah, that Celti motorcycle is a terrible disappointment. That it's not there. I don't get it. It's like the character thing. It's like when Marvel Legends makes a Ghost Rider with no bike, except at least
which they've done.
Yeah, which at least I'll give them that, you know, they're such a small company and they can only do so much. But Figma, man, people will buy it. They make other people bikes, but they don't make Celti her bike. It's just it makes my heart cry. As far as other vehicles, yeah, I don't really know anybody else that like particularly like is missing a vehicle from any of these lines.
Yeah, I mean, they always think of something they can do in the EX Ride line. The EX Ride line, they used to actually be for like 1 year, it was very active. They did a lot of stuff on bicycles and
did little mascot go-karts,
jet skis, and all kinds of cool stuff they did. And suddenly they just stopped. It's almost like they didn't care anymore. So it's
the roller skates, the scooters.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do.
Yeah, I mean, we have the horses already, which is cool. If we ever get a Figma Skull Knight and we don't get a horse, I'm going to riot. So.
Yeah, I think certain characters you kind of need to have it. Like Skull Knight needs to have his horse and stuff like that. So
yeah, and you already have a base horse body, so you better get it together, Figma. I don't want.
Yeah, the horse has to be a lot bigger though. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
You have the engineering for the horse already. So
yeah. All right. On to the next question. Okay. Do you think we would ever get a baby figure in the SHF line? The story from GT characters.
I think obviously for GT it seems to be priority will be the Super Saiyan 4 characters like Gogeta, Vegeta, and Son Goku. But I mean, if the line is going to go on, eventually they're going to hit that part where they have to do those characters. So I do see it happen. I can see it happening, if that's what you're asking. Yeah, I definitely see it. As far as anytime soon, I don't necessarily see it happening anytime soon, but I do see it happening at some point. Yeah, definitely. Again, they're eventually just going to run out of characters to do, and they're just going to start doing anything, all kinds of stuff, you know? So, especially if they want this line to go on, they're eventually going to start doing like all types of characters. So, that's why.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll happen at some point.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, it's not going to be anytime soon.
But not anytime soon. Right now, they're focused on, Boo storyline, the, Cell storyline, obviously. They're focused on that stuff. So, Cell storyline is obviously the most popular. That's what they do the most stuff for. And after that, followed very closely by the Boo storyline. So, Hope that answered your question, man.
The Nona here asks another question. Been watching some older anime lately, and I realized I'd like to see Figmas of the Black Lagoon crew and BK201 from Darker Than Black. What older animes would you like to see figures from?
Oh man.
Oh man, there's so many.
There's a lot I'd like to see. I'd love to see you know, for mainstream stuff, I'd love to see like Akira, like Kaneda, Tetsuo, you know, Kei. Those would be cool.
Yeah, that is truly.
And I would love, and you do Kaneda, you would have to do his wife as well. It would be Figma or SHF. It doesn't matter.
Why is there no figures of that? I don't get it. People ask me that love because you know they know I love figures and they love, you know, that series so much, and they always ask me, "Oh, is there a Kaneda figure that is Tetsuo?" And I'm just like, "No, I don't know."
Yeah, it's odd. No one really does it. I always get the impression that to get the rights from Otomo was very difficult. Medicom had problems in the past. What?
I said it must be. There's just no other explanation. It's Akira, you know, like it doesn't make any sense. That has to be the reason.
So, but I mean, not just those. I mean, the Black Lagoon and Darker Than Black, like Hey and stuff. Those would be cool too. Again, unfortunately, I don't know if those. I mean, Black Lagoon actually is not a terrible chance, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't even consider Black Lagoon, Darker Than Black that old, sadly. When you're talking about old, I'm thinking like 80s and shit like that. So, I mean, I'd love to see, you know, them do a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of stuff definitely that would be cool. I mean, I'd love to like Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho would be awesome.
I was just gonna
be
say
awesome.
One of the number one is
you know, SHF, whatever. It doesn't matter. I was
just gonna say that's one of the number ones is Yu Yu Hakusho.
Gunbuster, I'm a big fan of. I'd love to see figures from that. I would love to see Evangelion. I would love to see someone do Evangelion action figures, like of the pilots.
Consistently.
Yeah, like we've got them in the Figma line. I would love Max Factory to pick that up again and start doing like those, like the movie 3 versions. You know, like Asuka and Jersey and stuff like that. I would love to see that stuff. And it's almost like weird that they don't exist because you figure it's popular. It's not lacking in popularity or anything, so there's no reason.
And we know it's not hard to get the license.
Yeah, so it seems kind of odd that they don't exist, to be honest with you, but I don't know.
Yeah, for me, you know, series like Crows, I want action figures for Crows.
Yeah, Crows would be cool. Someone to do them
fucking badly.
Yeah, Crows would be cool. You know, Hajime no Hippo. Like Figma would be nice, or maybe even SHF, you know, would be nice. You know, like using the technology from like the Kingdom figures would be very cool to do. I don't know if they would do it, but you know, something like that would be cool. There's a lot of cool stuff, man. Like I said, Gunbuster. We are talking Gunbuster, Yu Yu Hakusho, Hajime no Ippo. You know,
Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, Rurouni Kenshin would be nice. You know. And there's a lot of really cool stuff you can do.
We never really got a good line for Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh yeah, I mean that, you know, Full Metal Alchemist is getting the live action movies. I mean, it's a great time to start doing stuff right now. Actually,
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, there's really just so many series. I mean, one of the biggest ones I'm sure that people hound me for these two like it's nobody's business is Inuyasha and Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, and oddly enough, they don't exist. I mean, you figure with so many companies, you know, being very big about the Western market these days, and those are very big Western, you know, very big anime licenses here in the West. And yeah, it's odd that we don't have them. It's odd that, you know, there's no action figures for them. You figure someone would have tried to jump on it by now. So.
Yeah, and it's just they haven't.
I mean, first 4 figures.
Bandai has shown interest in both. You know, they are steadily every year in their polls, every single year.
Yeah, but oddly enough, we never hear anything for them. It's very strange. It is very strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very strange that they're always in the polls, but they never do anything for them. So it's very odd.
I'm sure Mr. the EMIYA here would love an Ashitano Joe line, huh?
Yeah, Shano Joe would be great too for the
Yeah.
Figma line. Yeah, would be good. Ashtano Joe, I would be great. I mean, I would love to see a lot of stuff. I would love to see a proper Macross, classic Macross, original Macross Figmas or SHF, whatever the fuck they would do. I mean, it doesn't matter. I would love to see Gundam pilots done in SHF, Figma, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'd love to see a lot of stuff. I mean, the list can just go on. I mean, you could be here all day talking about it. So it's just that much stuff. A lot of cool stuff. All right. Well, hopefully that gave you a good view of an idea of some stuff we'd love to see. What's the next question?
All right. Johnny is asking, why is Figma dragging their feet on Berserk? And he said, also, Rick, I miss my Griffith. I'm sorry, friend. It was such a good deal. I had to buy it immediately.
Why are they dragging their feet on Berserk? Like, you mean as far as, like, why are they taking so long on it, you mean? Is that what he means?
I mean, there's nothing releasing. I mean, they're dragging their feet in every way possible.
I don't know, man. I ask about that Berserker armor every time I see Mamitan, and she just, like, looks at me like, oh, man, I'd love to see it, too. And, you know, we're working on it. Berserk's so awesome, and we should definitely do it. That's all I hear.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just another mystery, man. Another mystery.
I mean, there's figures coming. I mean, there's the God Hand, but I guess there's really nothing announced beyond that, and those are coming out actually pretty damn slow. I mean, we just got Femto up for pre-order not too long ago, and who knows when the other two packs are going to go out. The other two ones. I mean, because they're doing, I believe, Void and is it Void
Conrad?
and Conrad? They're doing
Yeah,
it.
Void and Conrad.
Kubik and Void and Slan. They're doing as a 2-pack. So I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know what they're gonna do. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we hear something soon. You know, hopefully they start putting maybe in. Maybe we'll see some prototypes. You know, New York. I don't think we'll see any New York coming up, but maybe we will. You never know. So.
Yep. And on to the next question. The Nona here, I guess, is just adding to it and says that they need to hurry up with the Skull Knight and Black Swordsman guts would be nice too. Man, I agree.
Oh, for the Figma line, well, they've already done the first version of the Black Swordsman. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know when they're. I don't know when they're actually gonna. Yeah, I don't know when they're actually gonna do it. Do a reissue of it and do a new version. I mean, the Black Swordsman figure could use a lot of improvements. The one they did, so they could definitely do a new version. I think justifiable now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
ASM Productions asks, would you guys like to see Wiz throw down in Super in future episodes? I really want to see him in a serious fight.
I think we'll see it at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we will. But personally, I like that role of him being so powerful and like so, you know, above everything. I like it, but I'm sure we're gonna see him in a fight.
Yeah, I think we'll see him. We'll probably see him in a fight at some point. I mean, right now, you know, he's kind of serving his purpose as the type of character he is. So
yeah,
eventually, I think we'll. I think.
Yeah. ASM Productions also asked, will we ever see a Champa or PyCon in DBZ SHF line? And we've seen Champa already.
Yeah, I think Champa is probably going to come. I don't know about PyQhan though. We'll see.
We've already seen Champa. So
yeah, Champa. I think he's already coming. There's already a prototype for him. So, but PyQhan, I don't know. Maybe one day, you know, like he'd be one of those characters I think would be like when they've really got no one else left to do, kind of thing. And eventually, if the line's gonna be running for as long as they say, and it will. Because, you know, guys fucking love Dragon Balls. There's no sign of it slowing down or anything. But, you know, eventually they will get to that point where they are starting to run out of characters to do it. So it will happen eventually. All right. I guess the next question.
All right. Also, when is Gogeta going to be done or shown and released for SHF? Because Vegito is cool, but Gogeta is awesome.
I think Gogeta will probably happen pretty soon. I mean, Gogeta's pretty popular, so I think probably, if I had to guess, we probably will see him the next couple of years. If I had to guess. That's my opinion. I'm not sure what Rick Bell thinks. What do you think, Rick Bell?
I'm sure it'll come eventually.
Yeah. Definitely, I think in the next couple of years we'll see him. That's just my opinion. But who knows, you know? There's so much stuff to do. I mean, that's simply the thing. And now with Dragon Ball Super, they kind of also have to kind of consider doing, you know, stuff for those characters as well. So it's going to be really about how they balance it all out. But I think it's coming. I think Gogeta is definitely next couple of years. I think we'll see him for sure.
Yeah. ASM Productions also asks, when will we see SSJ for Goku and Vegeta be released?
I think whenever they have an open slot that they feel that they can put them out, I think we'll see them.
We've only seen Goku.
We've already had the Super Saiyan for Son Goku, so I think definitely we're gonna see it, you know, at some point. I don't know. As far as when, it's hard to say because the problem is, again, what I just said is they have super characters to worry about now too, and they want to pop those characters out while the show is actually on. For companies always like to go for the thing that's more relevant at the time. So I mean, people do want those characters also, and Bandai obviously wants to do them. So I think it will just come down over the course of this coming year, I think. And this is just my view on it. Over the course of this coming year, I think it's going to be a lot of the testing grounds of how they handle stuff and what the momentum of what they're trying to gain momentum on is going to be revealed. You know, probably Tamashii Nation's event, we're probably going to see a big chunk of what the direction for 2017 will be as far as any of their lines. So that's what I think. So I think we'll have a better idea. The picture will be a lot clearer once we see what they're showing for that. So, hope to answer your question. Hopefully.
Yep. Now the next question, and I guess it's the last question, comes from Johnny, and asks, "Does Baki have a chance of new figures with the new anime?"
Seeing as how the Figure Art Zero on Baki did so terrible, I don't know if SHF would be a possibility. But as far as Baki action figures done by someone else, it's a possibility. I mean, there's always a possibility. I'm not sure who holds the license right now, but if it's up in the air, you know, anyone can do it. I mean, obviously, you know, good choices for something like Baki would be someone like Medicos, possibly Mega House with a variable action heroes line would be a good choice as well. The only problem is always been historical for Baki. Is problem is no one really sells outside of Baki and Yujiro, just because they're kind of iconic and a lot of people just kind of buy them because of who they are. But all the other characters, they don't really do that well. But I'm not sure if they were action figures, like really well articulated action figures. I could see you doing something like Hajime Ippo, Grappler Baki, like done on that SHF, done in the kind of Kinnikuman style. I think would be very good. But if not, I think even Medicals in the SAS line would be nice too. You know, they would have that kind of you know, that feel of how the old Future figures were. I think if they were going for that direction, if they were the SAS.
Even Revoltech, I think, would be good.
Yeah, Revoltech would be good too. Particularly for Grappler Baki. I don't know about Hajime Ippo could probably work pretty well too. I mean, the sculptors have already worked on Hajime Ippo stuff, so Revoltech would be good as well. Again, I don't know what they're planning on doing, but you know, it is always something that is in the realm of possibility. You know. But again, problem is with Baki is just the fear is the fact that the Figure Art Zero line did pretty bad. So hopefully companies aren't too scared about that. So.
Yep, and that was the last question.
The last question. Anyone have any other questions? Do you have any questions? Ask them now. Otherwise, we're probably gonna go ahead and end this. Are there any other questions? no other questions, we will end the show.
Yep, nothing coming up.
Nothing coming up. All right. All right, guys. We actually, again, I promised I would have contest details on next show. We are actually going to release the contest, the full details probably in a later video, probably in the next, hopefully the next couple of days. We'll probably be giving away a couple of things. The main thing right now we're trying to decide is what we want to have people do to get to win the item. So we're trying to figure that out right now. Basically, requirements will be obviously your usual stuff. Enter the contest, hashtag, follow me and Rick Dom, follow our JPIA TV Instagram, things like that. You know, follow the Facebook page, you know, that type of stuff. Might be a pretty long list of requirements, actually, now that I'm saying it all out loud. But there'll be some cool stuff that we're going to be...
It may be a long list, but most of them will be easy except for, I'm sure, the main task that we ask you to do.
Yeah, which is whatever thing that we're trying to decide what the contest will be. But we, like I said, some of the prizes we're giving away are pretty cool prizes. So, you know, we want to make you guys work for them a little bit. You know, of course, we also want it to be fun, too. So we're probably going to release a video separate from this, just like not a live video, but just a video. And we'll post it around, and we'll talk about it on the next episode, which I think the next episode, I'm not sure when it will be, only because in the next few weeks, there's a lot of conventions coming up. So we might not be back for like another 3 or 4 weeks, actually. So maybe we'll try to do another episode somewhere. I don't know where. Maybe we'll try to do one, but I don't want to promise anything just because it is pretty busy next few weeks. So, but we'll get some new stuff up. We're going to probably try to get some interviews at New York Comic Con and stuff like that. Hopefully, time and schedule is permitted, which it shouldn't be an issue. So, yeah. But again, thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, that's great to come on here. Like I said, we do this for you guys. So, you know, don't forget, you know, to like our stuff, like our shit, and you know, when you see us at the con, you know, make sure to say hello.
Fantastic.
Yep. So until next time, guys. Take care.